Hello, everybody.
Hi.
We are going to be getting this started right away. First, let me put up some of these replays and remember how to do that. Open up rival. Back. Yes, there they are. Alright, so we need game one, which would be this one. Wow, that goes quick. Hello, Autobot Jazz. Welcome. We're gonna be getting here. Let me swap out these characters because we are instead getting not Absa, not Raster. Instead, getting Sylvanos and Arcane.
Alright, this is definitely not a fun matchup for Sylph, I can say that much.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's great, gonna be real with you.
It's not. But we have the dogs fighting, so
Alright, so let's get this started. You see, I do. Come on.
I can.
Come on. Let us watch this, then transition over. Woo!
Nice.
Alright, so we have got ourselves the game one of Winterside top Winterside top 8, round 3. Let's get it started. I like the immediate skins. How do you feel about generally stage? You seem like you're pretty informed on the Sylvano shenanigans, maybe for good reason or others.
Yeah, I used to main the character, so ooh.
Very nice.
There's Yep Strong, yeah, that's something you've always gotta look out for versus Arcane. As far as the stage goes, I think this is a pretty even stage, unless there's an air character involved. Like, pretty much regardless. So, definitely not a bad Sylph stage. Pretty open, which is generally what he wants with his stages. But because of the platform not always being able to, like, aid your recovery, there are going to be times when you just don't have any options for a Arcane trying to get back on stage.
Yeah, Arcane's like stage control can just be so crazy, especially with this puddle and with how Nye is right now. Like, they always seem to be recovering just like straight onto stage and not really having a lot of grass setup, which is partially because of Arcane's just kind of insane mobility and frame data. Like, you're always gonna try and keep on Sylvanos if you can, but it's not been looking good, and these puddles have just been very puddle toss, man. The bane of so many characters, so many setups. And
yeah, seriously. And with a character like Sylvanas, where they don't have a very good sliding parry, a lot of the time if you pop bubbles, they're not really gonna have a way to deal with it. They just have to like sit there and stand back.
yeah, they have to just like end up playing patient. But when you're at 3 stock to 1, I guarantee you that they're not feeling very patient right now.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of panic rolls from oh no. Yeah, that's honestly a Sylvanas classic. I think every Sylvanas player has had a handful of uppies the wrong way.
That's kind of a tragedy for sure. So we got 1-0 now towards Dioptase. Dioptase?
No, this is cracking up.
Oh, that's
On Arcane.
Oh, I'm a fool.
Yeah, it's okay.
Right.
I am too.
Yeah, it's cracking. This is, oh my god, I was reading the wrong side. Either way, we can head into game 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, cracking up, heading it with that game 1 victory, and we'll then watch game 2. See what we got. Now, Rockwall is the counter pick. I guess you want the extra platforms here for utilization of just, like, to stop being on the same horizontal plane as Arcane, because, you know, down tilt is kind of crazy, as we're going to see.
I also think, honestly, something that Nairi probably wants here is, Nairi really likes to play slower. Like, you're seeing a lot of rolls back here. I think Nairi just wants, like, the larger stage. But, ooh.
It's quick.
Every time... you pick Rockwall,
Yeah.
the chance is gonna bite you.
It's just the benefit and the detriment. You're playing with fire, absolutely. I like the idea there, putting Flower on the top plat, trying to cut off recovery angles, but it just took a little bit too long, and Kraken could get back to stage no problem. Alright.
Yeah, ooh.
Overcommitting onto Puddle there, not trying to actually force Arcane to do. Oh yeah, that happens.
Yeah, Naya really needs to stop using Pedal Wave and Neutral like that. A lot of times when you're going for jab jab special, you want to do it when you've hit the first 2 jabs.
Yeah. Oh. I love how patient Kraken is sometimes. Like, he's moving all over the place, and then he'll just stop and wait to see whatever Nairu ends up doing in that brief moment. And it's working out super well because whenever Nairu gets a chance to press a button, he's gonna press a button.
Yeah, definitely what it feels like here.
So we're gonna get another couple of these up smashes.
There's another one.
He's really trying to hunt out these jumps. Oh, just waiting. He's waiting. I guess there was a little bit of slowdown, so hopefully it doesn't.
Maybe. Oh. Oh. That's how Arcane works. Oh my god. Let's go.
There we go. First stock of the day. Oh, okay, he didn't get the reverse spike, but you're feeling pretty good at that part if you're Nairu.
Yeah. Just like the Pedal Wave and Neutral, how Neutral is also like just as exploitable. It's harder to parry, but it's still pretty consistent once you get it down. I think
solid.
Nair needs to figure out how to use down tilt, especially fair. Like, Nair's got decent use of down tilt so far, but I'm not seeing a lot of forward air.
Yeah, he's playing a lot more grounded, which, I mean, Arcane probably wants you to do that in general, not only because back air is so threatening, but the more grounded you play, the more you're susceptible to wave dash-ins and just neutral tech down tilts, all this stuff, and oh yeah, that's the power of Rock Wall. You can reset your jump so easily.
Yeah.
That goes game 2 over to Kraken up.
Yeah, definitely doing a good job holding the set down. That was a much better game for Nairo.
Oh, absolutely. He started like the counter pick super helped, and he started playing around a lot of the normal Arcane stuff that Kraken up was able to do. But it's just kind of so hard when Arcane also has this like Randy kill power with things like up air and puddle anything.
Yeah, especially with Hydroplane, because you can just be halfway across the stage and suddenly empower strong attack.
Okay, let's see what we got for game 3.
Yeah.
Transition back on. Oh, there we go. My timing will get better, I promise. But oh, okay. And Endless Abyss. I'm not sure how much I like this because you gain so much off of the platform layouts. Like, yes, you died to it, but that's more because Rockwall is blast zone, so let alone not so much the stage layout itself. But I guess you and.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Like, there's not as much room to land. That's, I think, the real main problem that comes with picking this stage, and with Puddle already in center, you have to watch out for so much.
That's definitely true, but I actually think Arcane is probably going to have a bit of a trickier time landing in this matchup. Juggling him is going to be one of Sylvanas' big strengths. And this stage does so allow for that. I don't necessarily know if I agree with it still, though, just because, like, if you ever are in a situation where you have to approach Arcane, doing that without platforms is not going to be fun.
Like these
Normally this is a really good solo stage, though.
Yeah, it's just kind of, is it better for Arcane, or is Kraken more comfortable on it? It's kind of 50-50, but hey, if you're good on this stage, then it can surpass anything on paper. I like the attempt, but
yeah, ooh.
And it covers it with down smash. That down smash is crazy. People have such good buttons in this game. It's crazy.
Yeah. Ooh, that's another F strong, and I don't know if that was the right DI for that.
Well, it's something that you have to live with, and I mean, at the very least, you can look back on it right now, even. Surprise, surprise. Good little follow-ups from Nairu at the moment, just trying to set up shop in this corner.
Yeah, so I'm listening to Nairu like still. But the thing is, Kraken's in the lead, so like if Kraken wanted to just not play the game for 6 minutes, he'd win.
That being said, you do have 6 minutes to play with, but 6 minutes is too long for Kraken. Closes it out.
Clearly.
That is a 3-0 from Kraken's point of view.
Arcane down strong is such a painful move to DI.
So quick, going straight up is always so good.
Frame 7.
Frame 7. Oh, I didn't think I needed to know that, but now that I do, I'm scared.
Yeah.
It's quite the move, quite the move. Alright, but now we've still got plenty. We got to see who Kraken Up will be playing against in winners finals. Thus, pull some of those over. But in the meantime, what do you think? What do you think Nairu could have done better in the approaching a game like that?
Yes, I definitely think first and foremost, like you need to try to work off of using Pedal Wave and neutral like that. Pedal Wave is still a good option, but it's really more of like a combo tool. Just because if you throw it out in the open, you get parry, and you get extended parry stun. So Kraken can just kind of do whatever he wants. The same thing goes for Howl. It's just kind of the same deal. You want to save this for when you've already got an advantage. I also think using more forward air would be kind of what you want to sub in with those options, just because that move controls a ton of space and the tipper hits like a truck.
Yeah, definitely feel that. The tippers themselves, like I don't think we saw much back air in that set either. Like he was not trying to kill him at all.
Yeah, that's very true. I think kill options is another thing. That's something I'll probably end up looking out for more next set. It's because I think they're like winning neutral was really just the big issue. And I mean, that's understandable. Winning neutral against Arcane is not easy for Sylvanas in the slightest.
So up next. Oh boy, up next we have got ourselves a Rano Ditto. I can't even joke. I hate this character, but
yeah, no, you will not be alone.
No, it's quite the setup, but it is for real this time. For actualsies, it is Dioptase versus Pleb. Other side of winners semis. Man, like Dittos in this game just feel so like Dittos in any game. I feel so rough, but the Rano style of neutral feels like it's gonna be like so tentative, and stage control will end up mattering so much unless we get a heavy platform stage like Tower of Heaven. But I don't know how much. I don't know how either of them want to deal with that and may just ban it.
Yeah, I'll see how it works out. I know a lot of Ranos that I've talked to seem to hate the Ditto.
Reasonable.
My personal opinion is that most of the Dittos in this game are like awful unless it's fire characters.
Respectable, yeah. The fire characters play a lot more neutral. Rano is like his neutral may be a little bit more like slower. Like you spend a lot of time like using needles and dashing around, as slow as this game gets. But like it's basically how good is your disadvantage, and that's how good the Dittos will be. But I guess we can head on into game one, which, surprise, surprise, is on Tower of Heaven.
Yeah, no surprise there. Rano's definitely like this stage quite a bit.
Another little bit of slowdown, a couple dash attacks, whiffing. You know, the blind spots be damned, but it is one of Rano's better combo starter. But if they can land it. There it is.
Yeah. Right out the gate, what I'm seeing kind of a lot of is both of them are relying pretty heavily on roll. Which, yeah, rolling can definitely be a strong option in the right situations. But a lot of the time in this game, and especially for the character like Rana, who has such good ground movement and like especially plat movement, you want to actually just be using your movement to play evasively and not your not like defensive buttons like that.
I don't know about you, but that looked like some sus DI on the forward air.
Yeah, definitely.
Which, I mean, Rana's not the heaviest character in the world, but dying that early from mid stage is not the way to preserve any means of advantage.
Yeah, that move, at least in my opinion, is really tricky to DI at times. Because sometimes, like, 30%, even if you DI in, he's just going to be able to hit you with another fair. It's terrifying.
It's... Rana definitely do have that swingy level of privilege where he can, like, if momentum is on his side, he can chase you down like no other. See a couple command grabs coming out from both players. I think he's losing a lot of these like interactions and going like trading 1-for-1 in a lot of spots like this does not help when you're down so far.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's getting a lot of tongues, but okay, that one's gonna kill. But yeah, I think he doesn't quite have his tongue combos down. A lot of these follow-ups have felt really shaky.
Yeah, it's been a tough one, but you can make up for your lack of true combos with Rano and with a lot of characters by just like playing good advantage, and that's what we really are seeing right now from Tase. As he caught him without his jump. Just like I don't need to true combo you all over the place because both of us are just playing like we're just gonna be playing advantage under this platform for as long as we get a hit. I hope this one
they're making an even game right now.
Good parry. Maybe not the best parry punish, but you do have a lot of poison stacks starting to soak up on Diabtase. If Blood can get this tongues, doesn't look like it. He's just playing center and seeing how far that gets him.
Yeah. Going for the back airs. Yeah. Center stage, that definitely makes sense.
Just kind of wheedle him out. Frame 5 back air, we might as well try and range him out. First, not the first nair we've seen in the set, but first one attempting it in neutral. Good DI in to not even try to worry about the offstage play.
Yeah. God. Diabtase gets the F strong.
Die.
Yeah. And a run of strong isn't that great, but there are a few particular like areas where if you go for it, it hits deceptively high. And the sweet spot hit isn't that weak, so it's just so easy at the weak hit, and that the weak hit does like nothing.
We have 2 Ranos. I need to add name tags.
Yeah.
Alright, so that was a pretty solid game 1 though. I mean, Gleb had that lead for basically the entire game, but it just goes to show how like patient play can really matter in Dittos, because you know what your opponent is going to do at any given moment, at least what they're looking for. So might as well try to play around that.
Alright. Yeah, I guess if you like potentially know their options a little bit better, not quite as hard to deal with them.
Now we got game 2. Couple bands be damned, but see what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
Forest, Spirit Tree, not Forest Haven.
Yeah. Ooh, double up strong. That's very funny.
Hey, I mean, Rano up strong is basically just all-purpose strong. Like you can just it's nair strong. Oh no!
Yeah,
you fell right into it.
Yeah. It always hurts to get hit by, because I honestly don't think it usually does that much for you on hit, but it's just so long.
Yeah, you
just kind of sitting there.
You get to sit there and think about like, oh man, I really made these mistakes here. Like, not again.
Yeah, oh, text it out that time though. That's very nice. Yeah, looking for situations where you can SDI or tech out of various multi-hits. Always a good skill to have.
Uh-oh. Alright, but Pleb's not taking advantage of it. Instead, looking to catch the recovery on Doptoss's up B, but not gonna find anything, and actually eats 60 for his troubles. So, you know, just Rano things.
Yeah. I think also Dioptes almost had like a bit of an Edgar going right there. I don't know if we've seen that many similar situations from Pleb.
Pleb's starting to fall behind very quickly, very early. Down tilt to up smash will do it, especially on that DI in. But I mean, he's got ground to make up, but nothing that a solid dash attack won't do. I mean, you mentioned it earlier, but a lot of rolls from both players. Like, that's just, if I'm in danger, I'm gonna hold that R button and try and get out of there.
Yeah, but if they're gonna do that, Rano should have a lot of options to cover that. You can try to dash attack them, especially because a lot of these are roll backs. I think dash attack and Hung would both be fairly reliable for hitting that.
Yeah, both players need to feel a little bit confident when pulling the trigger in pretty much the opposite direction. Most of the time, these rolls have been cross-up rolls. Solid bubble confirmed. Just in back air up smash, keep it simple. Your opponent's at like 140. Oh.
Yeah, ooh, the spot's right in that.
Tragedy, truly.
I think another thing, I think this has been more so Pleb that's doing this, is double rolls. Almost like that. There's a needle between that one, but still. There's all situations where I'm seeing Pleb roll in and then out right after.
Yeah,
like,
I now that you mentioned it, it's like, yeah, it's like 1-2 needle 1-2. Like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're kind of becoming like the backbone of his movement right here. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's
stuck.
Doptoss taking a quick 2-0 lead in this set. Not so much quick, but definitely a 2-0 lead. I have to see if Pleb has like a specific kind of option in mind, or maybe lack thereof. I mean, we saw how many rolls were coming out. Like, stop doing those, and instead trying to call out Doptoss's movement and ability to close the gap may just be the way to go about it. I mean, you're Rano, you have plenty of very quick options, so throwing out some quick grounded attacks may just do the trick.
Yeah, and I think definitely we're seeing the Estuary counter pick right here. I think this is going to be a really good stage for opening up more movement options, like I was saying earlier.
Yeah, I completely agree. Kind of like the background we got right now. Isn't that crazy, guys? Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get into that game 3. So, oh, and the skin change too. And can never sleep on the skin change.
Yeah. I have music counter pick save me in Smash before. I'm sure skin counter pick.
Oh yeah, that's
save people in this game.
Sometimes you just gotta be ready for the custom skins, and hey, it's working thus far. Like 100% basically unanswered.
Yeah, ooh, that's almost had the up air right there. Wow, that was a really clean stock.
But is it gonna be reciprocated right off the bat? Like, okay, now he does get back to center. Still throwing out these rolls, but this time you're kind of allowed to, because you're making Dioptoss start to chase.
I think, oh, that might be dead. Yeah, you would have had to, like, bubble right there, and that's something that Dioptes can chase after.
Yeah, it would be like bubble, tongue off bubble, and yeah, that's a lot to recover, and expect Dioptoss to just, like, sit there and let you do it. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Rano up air is deceptively strong. That's something that I'm always so scared to get hit by.
It's such a good tool because of how much you can do with it. Like, you can hit one. You can just let both hits rock and have it as a functional anti-air, like the dash attack spam. Not spam, the mirror.
Yeah. I feel like Dioptes is going for, like, hit fall up air 1 up strong out of bubble. I'm not sure if it's just not something he's, like, really practiced that much, but I definitely respect it, and that's just be like one of the stronger like simple bubble confirms when you have no stacks.
Yeah, that sounds. I mean, Hitfall up air just like is such a amazing starter and extender for Rano. Like, you can call out an anti-air with it or combo from down tilt. Like, basically the entirety of Rano's kit combos into itself. So, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like, if you're ready for up air 1, it's a lot less threatening, but regardless, like, it's hard to be ready for because it happens so fast.
that S smash will do it. Okay.
I'm very surprised it was a sweet spot. Really didn't look like it was going to be one to me.
Quick dash attack into Upstrong confirms, and yet another dash attack Upstrong, just keeping the combo tree basic, and now just wait for the inevitable recovery once, twice, and twice is all you need.
Yeah. One thing you can do right there, if you're Rano and they're just like charging an F-Strong to keep you off stage, you can stall with down B. I think that's something a lot of Ranos aren't really going to utilize at first, because it's probably not the most intuitive thing. I feel like down B doesn't seem that useful at first glance, but it's such a good recovery tool, particularly like when you're right near the ledge.
Yeah, it's just the bubble in general, just being able to manipulate your own positioning without any stage is such a unique tool.
Yeah.
And I mean, the entirety of the roster thrives on uniqueness. So love to see it. Love to see it.
Yeah, if you ever want to see like down B stalls used to their fullest, I definitely recommend watching Backpack play. I feel like he's the Rano that gets the most out of it. His recovery mix-ups are just absolutely insane.
And I feel like there's always a player that you can look to for specific elements, which is why certain characters have a lot more personality than.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's a spectrum, of course, but Rano definitely has the diverse enough kit to where you can. A lot of characters in this game, but Rano especially has a diverse enough kit that you can really tell one player from another without even looking at skin.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so we got ourselves a game 4. Let's see if Pleb can tie it up.
Alright, we're gonna be going.
No spoilers, anyone. If you're looking at bracket, which you can find at !_ bracket, no spoilers. I'll ban you.
Yeah, tisk. Imagine spoiling bracket. Couldn't be me.
Imagine spoiling brackets.
Not cool, dudes.
Yes, shame on thy. SMH my head. Rolls.
Yeah, there it is again. And I think this stage and honestly just tri-flats in general are some of the best stages for you to play on if you really want to break that habit, just because of all the platforms you have to go to. A lot of the times you can just retreat to one of those ledges and go to side platform, and you get a fairly similar effect. It's not the exact same, obviously, because it's not the iframe, so they can still try to catch your jump. But it's also significantly less punishable. They have to read it, whereas with roll on some level they can react.
Ooh, that kills, but I mean,
hard DIN.
Yeah, this kind of looks like exactly the type of stage that Diaptase would want to do, would want to succeed on, especially seeing how he won on Tower of Heaven. A little bit more flexible with its side platforms, but the actual size of them and how each platform is so long feels like it just benefits his combo tree so extensively. While Pleb naturally is going to fall a little bit behind because he's not looking for those extensions and for those platform setups. Down smash won't do it quite yet, though. It's starting to go from bad to worse.
All the up tilt ladders. Oh, I don't know if charging needle right there was the best option. There are definitely times where you're going to want to drop advantage to charge needle, but I don't know if that was it. You got a really good ladder going.
Yeah, forfeiting advantage just to charge a projectile, but also you're resetting neutral, which neutral wins matter so much that throwing them away for minimal damage doesn't isn't the best, especially in a Ditto like this, where every every hit matters.
Yeah, for sure.
Just back to neutral we go. Plenty of dash attacks to be seen, but finally dive tossing with that starter. Will he take a hit?
We're gonna see here. That
No.
might be, yeah, that's it. Again, you have to, sometimes if you have no other options, you really do have to just side B bubble sling.
Yeah, see how that works, see how it goes. But that is a 3-1 for Diaptase, who takes it and will meet. They'll be meeting Kraken up in winners finals. But first, to check out what's going on in the other side of bracket. So, what we got there? Who is in attendance in the bottom four, or in the loser side four? Bottom four is a million.
Yeah. And losers eights.
Losers eights, yes. There's the round.
I think, are we gonna be starting with
Oh my.
I guess Lean and Bowling King, or the other set?
We can do Lane. So, whoever sent me Lane and Bowling King their replays sent me all of their replays from, it looks like, the past 2 days.
Oh my god.
So I have like, okay, what's today? It's the 6th. We're assuming it's these 3 games that are taking place on the 6th. Why? People, please.
That's, oh god. I'm assuming, I feel like this was probably, yeah, I'm getting the feeling.
Yeah, that's what I'm
sorry.
It's
My bad.
okay. I mean, that's what I did, Kraken. There's only 3 of them that took place on the 6th, so luckily, and assuming this is a 3-0, which, I mean, I guess one way or another it is.
We're gonna have to find out, I guess.
Yeah, but it's come on, man. I don't need your whole life story. All right, what do we got here? Let us update the thing on the UI. I like having this UI. It's pretty.
Oh yeah.
Don't need mono. Don't need. Also, thank you, Nairu, for the follow. We are what? Like, hold on. I am 2 followers away from 100 followers. I am 1 follower away. Thank you.
Ooh. Hype.
I'm very excited. And there we go. Thank you guys so much. I love doing this. I like streaming, but this is a new experience, but I'm glad to do it. Speaking of glad to like to see it, we're gonna be getting Crag and Claren for our duo. What the heck is Crag? Okay, well, did I really not? Of all the characters, I didn't put Crag? Okay. Okay. Gotta go me. Dumb, stupid idiot. Ignore this delay. It's gonna bother me. This is gonna probably not look the best, okay. But it will look better than if there was no character there. So many characters in the game. I can't even believe it. Alright. So.
Alright.
There we go, all set up. Transitioning over. Booms. Ignore the white background. on Crag. I'm sorry. I didn't have the best render.
Dang.
Yeah, for
Very
some reason I don't have a good Crag photo, but I'm not gonna delay it so far by
crying right now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna delay it so far by like hunting around the internet for the best Crag photo I can, or render. But either way, we got ourselves game 1 of Bowling King. Yeah, it's
King and Lane, I think.
Yes, Bowling King Lane. That's.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm not gonna fix it now, Jazz. It's okay. Alright,
It's me.
What do we got?
Claren Crag.
Yeah, neutral heavy. That's what this
Ooh,
one
and
feels
we're
like.
going. I think Gates is a really Crag favored starter in this matchup, personally. My usual bans, not that everyone should do this, of course. My usual bans are Gates and Merchant Port for this matchup.
Gates Merchant Port.
On the Claren side.
Oh yeah. Merchant Port, I can definitely see that one. That is that's a pretty good stage for Crag. Get him a lot of room to move. This one though,
Not about it.
Like the platforms are fairly linear. Like they help both characters. This is why it's a neutral stage. But the blast zones will really make Claren like start to struggle a little bit, just to find ways to kill Crag. But
yeah, no, I mean.
But hey,
I think it works out sometimes. I think personally, this is the highest priority ban if you're Claren, just because of how hard it is to kill Crag. Like, Crag's never really going to struggle to kill you because of how light Claren is off the sides. But you might struggle to kill Crag at times. And keep in mind, compared to most Clarens, I think I really like this stage, but this is a matchup where I never want to deal with it.
definitely plenty of tricky movement that you can have on this platform.
Yeah, I think we're seeing Bowling King do a really solid job here. Just finding these strong attacks. I think Lane's putting themselves in some very uncomfortable positions, particularly on Pillar, that Bowling King's doing a good job taking advantage of.
Yeah, it just seems like he has a real beat on like Lane wanting to stay on stage as soon as possible, and yeah, you took Pillar away from Crag. That's a rough one for sure.
Yeah. That's how it goes sometimes.
Do be how the cookie crumbles if you're not ready to mix up your recovery routes, which is huge against Claren because like Claren plays such a strong neutral, and if you let her walk all over you in disadvantage as well, like then it starts getting really out of hand.
I mean, honestly, Claren advantage is really scary. She has a lot of. If she spaces and times all of her stuff effectively, especially spacing, she can just do like whatever she wants. She has so many ways to cover different options.
Yeah, we've all been there at the like Claren waits at ledge and then charges F smash like
Yeah.
But hey, if it works. Let's check out how well it could work in game 2.
All right,
we're getting there. It's a process.
That it is. Believe me, I doubt my first couple of streams were all that special.
I'm just like looking at the Crag photo and it's like, man, it was also going so good, and then just this giant white border. It's alright. Room for improvement. Room for improv.
Yeah.
Speaking of improv, some impromptu combos it looks like coming out from Bowling King. Oh, getting the back air into up strong. Yeah, these recovery routes feel so scouted. Like he's just kind of dashing around and waiting for these pillars, waiting for the side B to come out. And the more desperate Lane gets, the more times he's just going to be swinging at potentially nothing. Like, Claren spacing you out is the way to play the character.
Yeah, for sure. I love, like, even if a lot of them aren't actually giving him that much, I really like the attempts for the different like top boosts confirms Bowling King is going for.
Yeah, he's not trying to mess with anything. Oh, that parry, the whiffed parry was so huge for a potential punish, but Lane not doing it. Just, I guess that shows how good Bowling King is inside of his head. Like he's making him scared even when he's in advantage of any single like counter hit.
Yeah. Oh, that's a situation right there in this matchup from the Crack side that you really need to be like giving it your all. Claire recovery is arguably the worst in the game. And Crack has some amazing ledge trapping and edge guarding. So if you're not putting on that pressure at the ledge, and I think Ling was doing a pretty solid job at doing that. But especially on a stage like Rockwall, you really want to be... Oh no. Yeah.
Tragedy.
Definitely hate to say it.
Not like this, indeed. And now, yeah, Bowling King can start to ride with this momentum a little bit. Like, even if you're just, like, even if the SD was forced, like, you now have so much room to play with and so much room for error. Right? You can just kind of do things like this, where, yeah, I'll chase you down. I'll see how far I can go. Like, and I can take a punish or two here and there, because Lane's punish game has been kind of like one and done kind of hits, whether on the part of like good DI and ASDI, but also just like kind of relinquishing a lot of advantage. I respect it.
Yeah, honestly, it's a really good option for Clay, and it's risky because it's like a 50-50 and it's really hard to time, but if you can do it consistently, it's such a powerful option. It'll probably kill even a character as heavy as Krag at like 80 or 90.
That's... Man, those tippers are something else. Like, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Kind of brazy over here. All right, well that's a game. That's a game 2. Unfortunate SD, but it always kind of felt like Bowling King was in control throughout the game.
Yeah, I'd be tempted to agree with that. I think the big issue that Lane's been having so far is going to be with their advantage state. Like, I feel like that's where they're really lacking so far.
Yeah, they're kind of like letting Bowling King recover for basically free in a lot of instances. They're not trying to challenge the recovery move, the up special, which is, to be fair, like it is a rather big hitbox on that second swing, but it's just like if you're only coming at it from one direction, then yeah, it could be hard to challenge. Like there's a million other ways to challenge the clearance up B that are all much more effective than from stage.
But even beyond that, I think like Lane doesn't really do a lot with like off-stage combos, especially with like Nair and up air. Like you want to be taking advantage of those if you can as Krag. These are some extremely powerful moves.
Yeah, I feel like
we're just not seeing much of that.
See if we get some more in this game 3. Back to gates. I guess like if you let them go here, like you take use of the blast zones, like assuming Merchant is banned, like it's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I mean, totally understand when to give it another shot. Ooh. Bowling King, you could have Larry right there. Disappointed.
Forgive me for not knowing all of the goofy names for a lot of conversions.
Larry is tipper up air, tipper up strong.
Okay.
So you have to hit it like right as you're landing.
Okay. Yeah. I got you. God damn it, Windows. I blame you for this. I'm respecting the side B, but not gonna... Oh wow, he died. Like no sparks, no flash, and nothing.
Might just been some lackluster DI on that.
The high pillar was risky, but it did work out because he ran off the other side, like using it as kind of a block. block for just any sort of means to recover, and holding on, being able to refresh your second jump is so huge. But oh man, these Nair chase downs are pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah, oh, I thought bowling was gonna try to hit the pillar away there. Oh, that is not good. Yeah, that's gonna be the second stock.
Looking like a rough one for Lane, but hey man, like there's been crazier comebacks, and Crag certainly has the jank factor to do so, but just with how Bowling King has been positioning himself, it either feels like Lane has no room to set anything up, or far too much room to where he can't chase Clarin down. But hey, that's the first stock after a very, very strong fair.
Yeah.
Find a little bit more patient heading into this game or heading in this game 3 final stock. Like,
trying to get an anti-air right there, but nothing.
all right, some big punishes, like a huge F smash. That's gonna, I mean, at the very least does something. But oh, you've kind of put yourself in a troublesome spot by pillaring so far away. Like, yeah, Bowling King could have just wait and react.
And trying to get a little bit closer to the stage would have been stronger.
He's doing it very, very far, and Bowling King just has to like not care.
That might actually kill. Yeah.
Wow.
That was the far hit.
Very, very solid stuff from Bowling King as he takes that game 3-0.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was definitely instances where Lane like had a bunch of right ideas, but his counterplay to Clarin just did not look like it was strong enough to counter Bowling King's just like immediate game plan.
Yeah, definitely.
We have got.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping in the future he has just a bit of a sharper advantage. Trying to think if there's any players that are really good to watch for specifically advantage.
I mean, like MSB is the notable one.
Yeah, I actually wonder if like, honestly, MSB's never a bad person to go to for crack stuff.
Yeah, basically, like he is the Crag guru. Oh. So Mild and Timmy. Timidity.
I'm just gonna say Timmy, honestly. I think
Timmy.
It makes no sense.
You do realize that top 8 was a best of 5, right? There's only 2 games. There's not.
Oh yeah, I was actually told there was a bit of an issue right there. One of the games is missing, so.
All right. Well, we'll watch the 2 of them. See how it goes.
That we will.
Not like, yeah, we won't watch your set. Grr. Also, yeah, MSB, not only for just Crag gameplay, but he often hangs around in the RRC Discord.
And the Academy, too.
Yeah,
big player in the Academy. I also think ZB isn't a bad person to go to, as bizarre as ZB is. He's definitely a bit more of an unorthodox player. I think MSB is really good to go for recovery checks. He's honestly has some of the most fun recoveries to watch in this game. Disadvantage goes crazy.
And having a good disadvantage in basically any fighting game is so huge, because you basically guarantee yourself more times to play neutral. And that alone is such a huge statement, even if it's not like ridiculously even if it's not like ridiculously profound, like, oh yeah, you get to play more neutral, that's more chances for you to win neutral, which means it's more chances for you to take games and take stocks, and that is where it becomes pretty big.
Yeah, for sure.
So we have got ourselves another game, another say. They're going to. Not one. You know, it's fine. I'm fine. We got Timmy and Mild, so hey, get a look at this. Lane, you can watch more Crag gameplay right now.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Let's do it.
Let's watch it. Let's check it out. Alright, so game 1. Gonna start on Jules Vale. Let's check out what we got going on.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Yeah, okay, so Forsburn is definitely the character I know the most about, and right off the bat, like, I like how patient Timmy is being right off the start, but some of these Nairs are a little bit overzealous. Like, you're trying to... Nair is big and active, and you're trying to space out a character like Crag with it. So drifting in with this just lingering aerial pretty much asks to be parried. But it does have a lot of rewards should you get that first hit, and I mean very quickly evening up the percent on that Nair combo. But Mild with a lot of stage control and a good beat on the DI Timmy's been doing.
Jeez, here.
Oh no, the rock snipe. He does not have a jump, but he's able to go back to the smoke, which grants him the double jump.
That's what I'm gonna look out for in the matchup. If Four is trying to put smoke off stage, you just get rid of that smoke first and foremost.
Also, please Cyber, let me know if there's anything wrong with the Discord feed.
Yeah, it's looking a little choppy right now.
Yeah, I think I may be over. It doesn't feel too bad. I'm hoping. Oh wow, yeah, the Discord feed is.
Yeah.
Let me try to do this.
Yeah, good catch with Bear right there. Tim's keeping this fairly even, and I feel like Crag damage is just so high that even with all these neutral wins, it's not working out the best. Ooh! Okay. Awesome.
Huge
Odd DI.
I mean, but we take those. Sometimes securing that kill can be pretty difficult for Forsburn sometimes. So just like catching people slipping is kind of the name of the game that he can subscribe to. I mean, that's kind of the point of smoke. So
yeah.
Yeah, huge parry punish. There is. Crag basically has some. He doesn't have as many starters as some of the other characters, but the ones that he has are all like so like catch-all and so good. Like he's got things like Nair, dash attack, like those make up such a difference in basically any matchup. Because if you're letting yourself get hit by some of those, like you're then falling victim to a heavy character's massive combos, and then have to worry about their kill power, which. I mean, rock, need I say more.
Yeah, definitely. Also, one thing I do want to throw out right here is you're going for a lot of jab 3. If you're going to go for jab 3, I think you should actually be going for jab 3 fair in some of these situations instead of trying to pull rock after. Because fair is one of the best edge guarding tools in the game, and having a setup like that in a fair where a lot of people are going to get too afraid and just DI in is ridiculously strong. So try to like bust that out and force them to DI out or at least shift out, and then in no situation you can pull rock and use like the shards and stuff to control their farther out recoveries.
Yeah, rock pull is like being able to punish with. I say this a lot to, and anyone I may give away my history. I spent a lot of time in the Smash Ultimate scene, also as a commentator. Haha. A lot of the times you can see Diddy Kong punish end lag or punish the opponent giving you space, quote unquote punish, by pulling banana, which makes him an infinitely better character. That can be seen in a lot of ways with Krag as well. Like if you just give Krag the space to pull rock, and they do, because why wouldn't they? Like that makes you counterplaying them and trying to get in or trying to play around Krag that much more difficult. So playing that mid-range against Krag is generally seen as probably a little bit better, because you can at the very least try to start de-incentivizing just retooling his resources. I am now very worried about this stream quality on Discord, but we'll roll with it. Hopefully, again, just let me know if there's anything going wrong, both in the chat. If the stream is terrible, please let me know, and Cyber, if the stream is terrible, let me know.
Okay.
Alright, but we got ourselves a game 2, haha, to watch. let's get that started.
Now we know.
Alright, the Blazing Hideout, not Fire Capital. We don't like to see Fire Capital.
God, yeah. Thinking Fire Capital versus Krag is just a death sentence.
Yeah, not a great one, not a great one. Blazing Hideout generally really good for Forsburn. He has a lot of setups here that can result in kills. Character's really good at tech chasing, so you can force techs on the massive center platform and it just move off of it. Like initial dash is one of Forsburn's best movement tools, and he can use that aplenty on and off of these platforms. Though finding ways to get setups usually involves going for things like up air or down tilt, and we have not seen much down tilt from Tim because he's been getting thrown off stage so ridiculously often.
When you pick a stage like this too, another thing you need to keep in mind is your platform movement. Like right there, especially against Krag side B. Running away from it works, but if you have that large platform right there, you should just wait there and punish with the plat drop aerial. Especially with Forest, like you have Dare, which does pretty much everything you'd want from a punish like that.
Yeah, I like that Mile just like cut it off early, and it's like, alright, I'm not gonna chase you with this side B because you're just running away from it, so I'll just get back to stage, jump cancel it, and see what you do about it. Ooh, it's very dangerous to land on Krag Pillar, but he lets it slide, and yeah, some of Timmy's movement can leave a little bit to be desired, and that's kind of where Mild is really making him pay, because Forsburn's run speed is rather slow, and I mean Krag is just like he's just bullying him now. Oh no.
Yeah. Ooh. Wow. Yeah. I guess if you have that for your in.
Yeah, why not?
And the F strong. Low percent F strong is always really funny. I think a slightly safer low percent punish could definitely be a down air. You can do a lot of stuff off. Oh wow. And yeah, remember when I was mentioning how good Krag up air was earlier? That right there is why.
Yeah, that's kind of oof, ouch, owie, his bones. But yeah, that's the only 2 games we got for that set, so I guess it's just a 2-0. Whatever, it's fine. I'm fine. But yeah, like, I mean, that's what you get really when you play Forsburn and don't take advantage of how good his movement is. You're gonna start getting burned very quickly, very often, and ooh boy, he did get burned. That up there, so strong. So from here, yes, the way we go, and the spot we go to, is losers round 3. Yeah, because we do quarters, finals, semis, finals, grinds.
Yeah, that works.
just need replays. More replays. Top 8. Just give me 1 second. So we're looking for Bowling King Pleb and Nairu Mildly Mild as our next 2 on the chopping block.
All right.
Any preference? There we go. Yes. Wow. Oh, thank you, Mildly, for the follow. Appreciate it. We're
Thanks.
we're getting there. We are doing pretty good. Let's see. Peaceful.
Love to see it.
Love to see it. Love to see it indeed. So, of these past 2 players that we've gotten, of which there's fine. Timothy, Sammy's Nairu, and Bowling. I don't know, Bowling King. Alright, that's Sammy's. Bowling King. Web and Bowling King. There we go. Extract. And then Nairu and Mild. Extract. Zip files. Woo!
Nice.
Alright, I guess we'll do Pleb Bowling King first. Seems like a decent one. More Claren gameplay. I know everybody loves to watch Claren.
I like Claren, honestly. Her advantage state's really cool once the player gets the hang of it.
Yeah, I don't mind Claren. I think she, like, a lot of characters in this game can get hit with the, like, you can play them really basic, which is unfortunate, but is how it goes. But, also, yes, mildly, you did miss your match. That is unfortunate. Wait, did that?
But you won it, so you're gonna have another one later on.
That is true.
For what it's worth.
The game is not in full screen. Bowling King. It is in. It's in windowed mode. So you know. Here we are. Anyway, let's get these. I was in a mojo, and I started talking to chat.
Yeah. I know, it's good to keep an eye on chat. See if they have anything important to say.
Okay, so that is from a game. Other 4 are. Okay, we might be missing a game.
I guess we'll find out as we go.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Either we're gonna be getting more Claren, so let me update that for you. 4's just Claren and Frog, not Rock. 2.
Nice, nice.
Back to 0. Push it over. Talking through the process. Here we go. Yeah, this is gonna be Pleb and Bowling King, and I believe this is game 1. So at least this is the game 1 that they've sent me. If it's actually game 2, L. Let's see what we got. Game 1 starting right about now.
Alright. Yeah, I can definitely see the appeal for this stage. I don't know, I'm not personally a fan, but a lot of people are, and yeah, definitely makes sense. Platforms on the stage open up a ton of options, especially for recovery, which I think both these characters, especially Claren, really needs.
Yeah, like you. Okay, he is just rolling now. Like.
Yeah. I mean, if you're like nervous and not really feeling it, I totally understand.
Yeah, like and especially on a stage like this, like you can make use of so much center that trying to trying to tie down Rano can be really difficult. But these rolls are almost basically like they're almost basically forward rolls. Like he's trying to cross you up with the 2 and then punish, which can only really work for so long. But hey, it's working right now. Also, this is game 1.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I can tell from this score. So either this is a 3-1 set, or we're maybe missing a game. Whatever. It's all right.
We'll see how as we go. Like I said,
Yeah, sorry.
some sets
reacting.
look a lot weirder than they are.
Fair enough. All right, popping out. Yeah, that parry's like. You do that as an anticipation of your opponent trying to punish you for whiffing a move, but sometimes attacks can just be baits in and of themselves. And all right, good idea. Just miss the execution.
Yeah. Sorry, just figure something out real quick.
Yeah, no problem. Just making sure everything is all good as well. Alright, now we get to see the pinnacle of clear and neutral. Just a wave dash jab. Oh, great parry. And missing the full punish, but damage is damage.
Yeah, I find it interesting that bowling's just dashing right here, just running instead of using wave dashes at all. And it feels like a lot of bowling's approaches are with aerials. 2 of Claren's lowest commitment options are jab and down tilt, which are easiest to do out of a wave dash.
Yeah.
I think those are 2 options. They're like kind of 2 of the first things a lot of Clarens are going to work into their neutral, and I definitely think that would be a big help for bowling.
But that platform isn't safe as Bowling King closes out Gleb's stock lead with that F strong. Yeah, I mean, watching him kind of just either fully commit to things like dash attack or F tilt and dash around on the other side of the stage, like Gleb feels really comfortable underneath this platform and still feels like he's in control of the stage with needles. So trying to reduce Pleb's comfort level, especially with how many rolls he's been throwing out, like that's going to be priority number 1. But I mean, Bowling King just kind of keeps getting whittled away, not only with the poison stack, but the actual needle damage.
Yeah. Honestly, like, poison stack damage isn't usually that big of a deal. It's definitely not great, but it's not awful. Ooh, also bowling. You go for that a lot, and I think at high percent, that's really strong. Definitely recommend it. Like right here, right? You almost had it right there, just a little late. Yeah, like that's a good time to go for it, but at low percents, if you're gonna side B like that, I think grab is your best follow-up. Because grab is true regardless of percent. And you can continue to combo off the grab.
Yeah, surprised we didn't see more of that grab. Because it feels like it'd be pretty good against the frequently patient plebeian. He was playing super defensive underneath these platforms, which can be super hard to approach. But I mean, there's not really much like that. There was not really much that Bowling King was actually doing about it until plebeian kind of gave it up and overcommitted to try and follow up off of one of these needles. But he had like a 70% lead that he didn't need to do that, and it's unfortunate that the game ended up the way it did.
Yeah. It's definitely a solid comeback from bowling. I think just solid damage. The side B especially, just having so many opportunities to pop that side B deals so much damage. I think that was really the deciding factor there.
See how it ends up in game 2, because I mean the game was certainly close in the end. So, certainly room for improvement. Let's see what they got for us. Ooh.
All right.
He counterpicked Clayrin here. That seems
Yeah.
rough.
I don't know if this is. I think in this particular matchup, this is not a good stage for Rano.
Yeah. It's...
Oh yeah. What I was saying earlier about wave dashes, I'm hearing some of them right now. But bowling's playing it super safe. I think he's just not confident in catching these rolls. Is that a dead Clarion? That's a dead Clarion, yeah.
Yeah, it is. A couple rolls back, see how it goes, but it's... I mean, you're off to a strong start, and now you can play under this platform a little bit more. Almost getting with the up strong, like you had been in game 2. Double up smash, like you got it, dude.
Yeah, you know, sometimes if it works, right?
Yeah, it's a theory with some of these heavy attack games where you can cover your whiffs with just another attack instead of with a defensive option, as defense in this game is kind of just more offense.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely appreciate going for these side Bs, but you're in positions where it's just too slow. Through a platform, a really good a good parry punish if you're through a plat like that, in my opinion at least, is double down air.
Yeah, because
usually like short hop.
Flat, right?
Right, yeah, you just do short up there through flat and just do it again. You get 2 of them. Or you can pop them up and get a grab, but I think double there is really fun. Oh, you just drift right into it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a full stock lead at this point, which is certainly surprising, but an early Gimp will kind of do that. Like, Rano... The most frustrating thing about Rano is hitting him. And rolls aside, like, the actual hurtbox model squishes and stretches pretty reliably with just like jumping around. I mean, you can see with the back air, he becomes very thin all of a sudden, and that can be a little bit tricky. Not that Clayrin's hitboxes are small, just they can be a little bit more focused.
Yeah, and I mean they're also not very fast, and Rano's run speed is pretty good. So sometimes he's gonna run circles around you, and you have to make a bit of a read in order to prevent that from happening.
Okay, there was one right there, but Sour Spot down smash not doing too much for Bowling King's game state. He needs something big like that.
That missed? Wow. Yeah, right? I'm stunned. I thought that was it.
Dan, finish your game.
It's a dead frog. Seriously. Oh my god, the fear.
Uses air dodge early, and the parry on the needles, yeah, a little bit too late on the release. But I mean, you can kind of hold center with this all day. That's gonna be alright.
I really like that, using the hit fall dare one to just try to mix that up. You don't see that very often from a lot of runners, especially a lot of lower level runners. They're not really going to use dare aside from just popping them above you.
Yeah, and it leads into the stalling, as I think both of us, but mainly you, have mentioned a couple times. Like it's a good move, not necessarily to always use to pressure, but as a means of just like coverage and utility. Like it's exactly what Rano needs.
Mhm.
All right, so we have got that's a 1-1 start for this game, for this set, and this is actually pretty big. Getting from 5th to 4th feels pretty huge, low key, because you don't share it with anybody. Like it's just that little like, oh yeah, I was in Like, I reached that next stage. So, game 3 will be pivotal, trying to keep that counter pick advantage. See what we got.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you feel about Treetop as a counter pick?
I think this is the best counter pick you have as Clarion. A lot of runners are not a fan of the stage. I think a lot of them are going to want to try camping you out as Clarion, so shrinking down the stage is going to make Needles a lot weaker, and it's going to make it a lot easier to close the gap whenever they're trying to charge Needles like this. So I'm a fan of it. I think this is... I'm honestly surprised Pleb would even leave this open, honestly.
And maybe you just kind of didn't expect Clarion to take him here, because Clarion themselves usually likes stages that offer a little bit more room to dash back and spread out. Stages like Air Armada are one that come to mind. But hey, why not? Why not try to capitalize on your opponent's weaker aspects, like with that cheeky confirm right there. Nice. Very nice.
Especially, I don't know if that was the weak hit or the strong hit. I guess it would have been the strong hit. But with Toronto being so light off the sides, you can never really tell. I totally appreciate what Bowling King's going for right now, honestly.
Yeah, he's like, I don't feel like interacting right now.
Yeah, and I mean, why should he?
Fair.
You know, like, got the lead. It's one of those moments.
Just jump. Like, it's
Pleb doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, like, to be quite honest, like, if your opponent is playing so defensive, then you have the lead. Like, forcing them out of their comfort zone is a win in and of itself. Taking that back air is unfortunate, but you've not only gained the percent lead, you've also gotten into your opponent's head a little bit. Because neutral this is. And Pleb has to find a way to deal with it.
Yeah, definitely. I think generally what you're going to want to have to do in a situation like this is just try to use, especially you can use super jump right here to try to match Bowling's height. And just like bait out a defensive option of some kind. Keep in mind, since the stage is smaller, it's not like you can just like plat boost around you for free.
This game suddenly got very, very close though. Not getting too many conversions because of the playstyle that he resigned himself to, and allowing Pleb to come back into this game pretty consistently. Missing the sweet spot leaves Plebeian yet another chance to kind of take the lead here. Wow, okay, sweet spot.
Ooh, oh wow, they both had no idea what was happening right there.
And just
yeah,
hit him with the homie DI. Like, all right, like I'll give you this one.
I think at a percent like that, for a tipper now, what I've heard is your safest DI is to DI up. So you still would have lived right there, but it would have been a lot harder for Bowling to get enough strong. Oh no.
That's really big for Pleb, because now he doesn't really have to deal with Bowling King kind of jumping away. He forces both of them to interact a little bit more, which is generally going to be seen in Rano's favor because of his really devious frame data.
Yeah.
Dash attack is huge, but only 18. You know, you mentioned it prior, but we're really not seeing any grabs from Bowling King. Like, he's just poking, and poking predominantly with things like back air, which good move as it is. Like, it's kind of just one and done.
I think grab is generally like a really nice, albeit kind of small piece of Clarion's advantage. You're never really going to use it in like neutral or anything. And it definitely feels like Bowling isn't getting too many big strings right here, especially in this game where you're just opting to mostly plat camp. Oh, you are living. One thing to remember is Rana. Oh, that's dead, yeah. You're not living, never mind. One thing to remember is Rana right there too. Like, you still got it anyway. Is like you can make that even easier if you put bubble at ledge. because then each individual hit of Clarion up B has to go through hit stop on the bubble, and it makes it super free to punish her.
Oh my god, yeah. Like, wait, that's so crazy. That's actually really
It's
cool.
such a stupid edgeguard tactic, but it's extremely effective. And yeah, if you're Rana, you should definitely keep that in your back pocket.
Yeah, that seems like it'd be clutch to pull out like at a moment's notice, especially in the last stock situations like that. Because what's so great about winning game 3 as he did was you not only won on your opponent's counter pick, you won when they had mentally prepared themselves to platform camp you, and that's gotta be a double whammy because now they're reconsidering that strategy. At the very least, or perhaps making them reconsider it. But as we kind of see with Game 4, as we'll head into right now, Bowling King said that platform camping on Treetop didn't work. What if I did it on Fire Capital?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, this would be Bowling's pick. This is really surprising to me. I would never pick this stage as Clarion in, like, any matchup. Except for maybe, like, Zetterburn. Nah, not even Zetterburn, because Zetterburn can still ladder you on the flats.
It's a curious pick, but after getting that first hit, it's proved relatively effective, and that F smash will do it after the sweet spot. One more.
Yeah.
And one more for the people. There we go.
Yeah, fair to say. That time I get in the strong hit. I actually recently learned there were 2 different sweet spot hits for Clarion F strong. One above her and one in front of her. And the in front one is like apparently one of the strongest F strongs, I think. And the above hit's like one of the weaker ones.
Oh yeah, okay. So that actually makes it a little bit less. It de-incentivizes using it as an anti-air and only as a horizontal punish tool, which then leads you to use other anti-airs like up tilt, which actually have more reward. Okay, I see you.
On some level, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's still effective either way, but if you're looking for kills, then it de-incentivizes using it like just over and over again, which I mean Clarion players still can do anyway. But hey, knowing different hitboxes certainly helps, and I guess you don't really need to know the one with Rano's up strong. Oh, come on.
Oh. Speaking of Rano's up strong. That was, yeah, that's unfortunate. It happens though. Again though, I think this is where like Bowling not using Rano down tilt at all is really gonna bite him. Because like right there, I mean, like if you just sitting there charging up strong, obviously it's not the best punish you can get, but you can still get a decent punish from just like double down tilt. That deals 18%, and it's 100% guaranteed if you just like mash down tilt. And then you can like still tech chase from there. So
yeah, the reward is so huge out of a lot of down tilt. Down tilt's kind of like a premier combo starter across platform fighters. Oh, and the roll read with the sweet spot. Is he dead? He is?
wait. Yeah, I mean, you might have been able to, like, bubble there right there, but if you do that, Bowling has a ton of ways to kill you for it, so it's not the best option. It's just a good backup.
This definitely looks like something that Pleb can work on later in these games. Like he's playing neutral pretty well, but some of his offstage gameplay, like if he's not close enough to the wall, like he just gets blown up. Oh, some wave dashing now, not just rolling about, not just dashing about even. I'll have to see if that takes it anywhere though. Missing the up strong twice over now.
Yeah, I think Bowling just really wants to Dacus right here. Super desperate to finish this game. Oh no!
That's
Yeah.
overcomplicating your punishes a little bit.
I'm really surprised you wouldn't. Yeah, just do that. There you go. And yeah, with the shaky stage pick, Bowling's gonna be taking game 4.
That's so weird. Like, oh, treetop. That's like the best counter pick. Loses. Fire capital. I don't know about this.
Honestly, yeah.
Wins. Hey, if it works. That's funny though. Alright, so this is game 5 then.
Yeah,
I
game
can't.
5.
Oh, I can't count. Fine. This is game
Yeah.
5.
That it is. We are looking at a game 5 situation. I can use the commentator
Oh.
commentator cliches. Let's go.
Oh, I should have put more channel point incentives for us to say Poggy and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, well you can do it in the future.
We're learning. I also do need to add more channel points, but it is an idea for a separate time. Let us get into game 5 because this has been a long one because like just a lot of like slow paced neutral play. As can come with the territory, like Rano doesn't want to put himself in any danger, and Kyron is trying to space you out.
Yeah, for sure.
Got it.
Alright, let's get into it.
And oh, I forgot what the stage's name.
Frozen Fortress.
Frozen Fortress. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so playing as Claren on this stage, what you really want to be aiming for is controlling that center plat, which I think is what bowling's starting to do right here. When you do that, it kind of lets you plat boost towards the ledges, and be able. I mean, I guess you could there through plats too. That's always funny.
I feel like this is the pinnacle of. Uh-oh. He's still fine. Oh, then the miss punished me, so he's really fine.
That's huge.
I feel like that when this is kind of a deceptive pick for Pleb, because this seems like it's really good. It gives you a lot of space to move, but one of the strongest position Pleb was in, as he does get that
Oh
Esper.
no.
We'll have to see if it matters.
Barely misspaced that.
He's poking around. This center platform is gonna be really crucial for Pleb because he spends most of his time being underneath the platform and charging needles. Now he doesn't necessarily have the best position to do so. Oh, the wave dash F strong. And again.
Yeah. Ooh, very nice spacing right there on the F strong.
That was absolutely needed, because if you let this get out of hand, if you got to get even further out of hand and didn't only take like 30, then he could have seen himself chasing around Pleb the entire game. But now you can kind of go back to the tentative neutral they both were playing at, and more often than not, Pleb was giving up first damage. This is that again.
Yeah. I think one of the big things in this set is just pinning down Pleb's rolling habit too, which bowling is slowly but surely catching on to more and more. Or not necessarily catching on to, I think bowling knew it as early as game 2. More accurately, bowling is finding more ways to punish it.
Yeah, we'll have to see how big his confidence can grow as he now has a full stock lead in this game 5. And I mean, if there was anything we could learn from game 3, even though he lost that game, he had a really good game plan once he was in the lead, and he has the will to be patient.
Yeah.
Or aggressively patient, I guess I should say, just like literal waiting.
Also, bowling, I think you mentioned, it looks like a lot of these, when you're doing side B up strong, you're going, nice right there. Looks like you're going for a lot of, like, running up strong. I think just go for Dacus. I just do, like, a really slight dash forward up strong or a Dacus. And as long as I time it right, those two options generally work. There are some spacings of side B where it's not going to work out as well. Especially if you hit like the very far out hit, it's a lot harder to reach a Dacus, but running at them is gonna work.
speaking of just running straight at him, that's oftentimes what BK ended up doing. Just trying to constantly stay underneath, whether it be on platforms or off. On platforms or on center stage, and that's gonna be a 3-2 victory for Bowling King over Pleb. We'll be awaiting the winner of our next set that we're gonna have, that being Nairu and Mild.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we got to Pleb for the 5th. They're out now.
Yeah, sometimes it'd be like that, but that was a really good set. That was, I mean, we kind of pointed out the obvious like roll habit that had come down from Pleb, where he was rolling quite a bit. He was rolling around at the speed of sound, but it was still played really well, but by just replacing some of those rolls with wave dashes, or with just like even straight up dash dancing, which can take time, especially online. It can be a little bit tricky to like wave dash all over the place, but crispy movement is a big part of what makes rivals neutral, like how much depth it can have.
Yeah, for sure.
Now we are going to be getting Mild and Nairu, as previously aforementioned. This is going to be Rag, Craig, and Sylvanos for presumably the whole set. So as our resident Sylvanos, and in general better at the game expert, how do you feel?
Yeah. How do I feel about this matchup? I think this matchup is probably even, but it's very, very, very awkward for Sylvanos. Actually, killing Crag is a royal pain because of how heavy he is, and the fact that so kind of struggles to kill at times. And Crag has a lot of ways to shut down, so if he doesn't have all of his options open to him. So
sounds like it can be a little bit tricky. Like, playing against Crag in general just feels like it's a little bit tricky, because you're kind of like walking on glass sometimes. But I mean, we'll see how either of them handle it. Whether it will be Nairu closing it out, or how much Mild can put the pain on. It all starts in game 1 on Jules Vale. See what we got.
Yeah. I do think this, Yeah, I mean, I guess the stage pick definitely makes sense.
Yeah, it's pretty neutral. It's certainly a wide stage,
Yeah.
so that helps with your grass and your gardening.
And we did see this last time in Nairu's last set, so it's very likely there's at least some level of like personal preference here, which I can totally understand. This is probably my second favorite starter versus Krag. I think my first would be Forest Floor, but
as Sylvanos or just in general?
as Sylvanos. I mean, honestly, in general too. But I also really like Forest Floor. It's probably my favorite overall starter, so there is some bias there.
Biplat gang.
Yeah.
2 platforms, man. It's just so good. Unless people use the pitch black skins, in which case I don't trust you.
Oh man.
But
yeah, no, I wouldn't trust him either. It's not worth it. Ooh, downstrong, yeah. We're seeing a lot of downstrong from Nairu. I think if you get parries like that, I don't know if you actually have the time to, but a lot of the time at super high percents, you want to F strong, just because that move is stronger than downstrong. If you're going to downstrong, what you want to do is like dash dance around them and mix up their DI.
yeah, I think that's the strongest thing about downstrong, is that you don't have to, like, you can leave people guessing. So I kind of like the check, and I like that parry on the rock, where you downstrong immediately, see if they know which way to go. But this is, yeah, you had no grass, so that's a big punish, and good follow from Mild to close out as they close out that stock and try to maintain this lead. 94, you're feeling pretty good if you're Crag at 94. Like, you can survive a good long time after this, as long as you avoid the right starter.
I think that's an important thing. Your DI has to be really on point against Krag, especially, like, there are honestly some moves and some situations where you just can't DI against him. Like with Nair in, like, Fair off stage. Nair on stage, I mean. You really just can't DI it sometimes. So taking advantage of the times when you can is very important.
And that's a good point. No DI is still DI. Oh, he's been jumping super early, though, and getting clipped by that rock more than once, which you don't like to see. He's still fine. Good weight on Mild's part, and the side beat to get back on stage. You have to respect it or parry it.
And I think you can do in that situation too is you can throw down the rock and you can narrow it or downstrong it to throw shards up at them. But obviously, like, you're still just waiting there, especially with a somewhat lacking move like Stove Up Strong. Not at all a bad option.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the general use of rock in that matchup, both in the matchup and just in the gameplay as a whole. Like, Mild picked his spots of when to throw, like, super well, and it really worked out towards the latter half of that game, because throwing it straight up as a constant means of pressure, it worked out. But that's going to be game 2, and lo and behold, as priorly mentioned, we've got ourselves a couple biplats.
Oh yeah, and some home field advantage for Sylph too.
True, that's the added power up that you don't see.
Yeah. So one thing I think is also a little bit iffy about Nairu's gameplay, I think I mentioned a bit earlier, is their advantage state, and that's something I should definitely be looking for in this matchup, is that Krag is, of course, super heavy, so you're going to be able to combo him to death. And Sylph is a character with a really, really strong combo game. So the faster you can pick up at least some of his more basic strings, the better off you're going to be, because you want to make sure every neutral one you get counts.
Oh, thank you for the raid. Party of 5, welcome to the Rivals Recess. Rivals Recess, Season 7, number 49, Amateur. And we have got, we're in losers quarters right now. This is going to be game 2 between Mild and
Yes, super catch there, just gotta turn around.
Okay, it's game 2 between Mild and Nairu, and this is... Some of these snipes with Upstrong have been pretty huge. He's really starting to call out Mild's jumps. And with grass on the floor, that becomes so much more of a option you have to respect, because he could run off back air, like run off double jump back air, or just head right back into the stage. Again, not seeing much back air. Oh, ooh, wow, he dodged that fair.
Yeah, sometimes you just die, I guess.
Sometimes you just have to hold that.
Seriously. I remember last set with Kraken, you were seeing a lot of parries on Pedal Wave, and Mild, you need to be doing the same thing. I think there are some situations where you're pulling rock, and that's where you're losing your parry. I wonder if you could just get away with, like, soft throwing the rock, and then parrying after that. I don't know what your follow-up would be from so far away, but it's definitely something you want to look out for, because if Sylph's going to be spamming Pedal Wave like that, you need to punish them. Oh, like right there, you started pulling rock when, like, you definitely should have just parried.
Yeah, you're kind of giving Nairu, like, free range just to freely pressure you. And it's not looking good thus far. I mean, Krag has got a lot of shenanigans. Hey, that move may as well be named shenanigans, because it killed sub 100 just, like, without question.
Yeah.
Oh, that should be... Oh, wow, again,
Yeah.
not the best DI, but Krag's weight still letting him survive
Yeah, and
that.
that's what I'm saying, like, Sylph down strong, it's a very good move in its own right, but it's not honestly that good at killing. I think it doesn't really Galaxy until, like, 180. So definitely try to focus on F-strongs and stuff if you can, because if you can hit them, they're super strong.
Yeah, it just... reliable kill tools are kind of the name of the game against Crag. Like, you can't be going for a lot of the quote-unquote faker stuff, because Crag will either just, like, if the player's good, they won't get hit by it, and also Crag just might live anyway. So, yeah, it's tricky. It's a tricky trap, but Sylvanas has a lot of just, in general, unorthodox tools that can make players struggle to play around it. And I mean, that's kind of what we saw in that game too, was using a lot of fair and using a lot more of the what is it? It's down tilt, right? That skirts across the ground to cover the whole screen. Yeah, it was
from Sylvanas.
Sylvanas, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more of that.
Oh, you mean the projectile?
Yes, I think so. Or is that?
No, the projectile is jab special.
Oh yeah. Either way, because it didn't look like Mod was necessarily doing anything about it, and that means free grass.
Yeah.
But we got ourselves game 3. Of course, in every game 5 set, game 3 is the most vital. Having counterpick advantage is so huge, and we'll see what we got.
Alrighty.
A little bit early. Tempest. Oh. Right. Tempest is an interesting one. Usually it's a very defensive stage. These side plats offer a lot of recovery mix-ups, so you end up spending a lot of time just like holding center.
Yeah.
Which I guess, you know, pretty good for Crag. Like, he's spending more time in center. Oh
no. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Do you think... I would say though, I think right there, that situation where you have the opponent like near that plat where you can start edge guarding them, that's where Crag really shines on the stage. It's the side plats that are just so good, because you can use that to basically refresh your jumps and get even more fairs more safely. And I believe it's also kind of possible for Crag to camp on and even under a side plat using pillar. It's not as broken as it used to be, but it's still an option he has, and it's not a fun one to deal with for a lot of characters.
Enlighten me. Why was it broken before?
From what I remember hearing, the reason is that Crag Pillar used to not descend as he stood on it. So if you just had a pillar under the platform, it would stay like that forever, and you just kind of had to fuck all you could do about it.
Oh, that's... Oh. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun to deal with. Sounds great for Crag players.
I think the story that I heard was that like ZB did that in a like major tournament, and like the same day Dan was watching and was like, okay, yeah, no. We're not doing this again.
Gotta love it when your majors are often viewed by the creator of the game, so he can just like...
I'm commentated too, not for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you love to see it, but if you're using some dumb stuff like that, you're like, oh yeah, let's get this out of here.
Yeah, definitely. Right. But regardless, the stage is... Oh, that's so unfortunate. Look, we just spaced right through it. Sylvanas is too good.
Sylvanas, man, like metagame defined. Like it's grass puppy.
Ooh, hard read on that jump. Gonna be paying off big time.
Yeah, and after a very early SD, Nairu has just been like completely in control. Like, and on top of with the jump callouts with up smash, like we're seeing a ton of down tilt utilization to make Mild either jump a lot more or hold the pressure and respect the space of Nairu again. Yeah, dying at 179, like you're feeling pretty good about that, and you can start seeing your...
Tempest Blast Zones are absolutely massive, so
yeah.
It's gonna feel immortal sometimes, especially as a heavyweight.
And not only heavyweight, small heavyweight. Low to the ground is that quadruped, and I mean, he certainly makes good use out of it.
That's very true. Yeah, I don't think that's super necessary or super like important in this matchup, but there are some matchups, like the Eliana matchup. Oh my god, where its height is such a major factor.
Yeah, at the very least, it starts to restrict.
Is Mild? No, Mild's not dead.
But it starts to restrict things like just these raw jump fairs that had been working prior. F Smash, oh, still won't do it. Wow, 164.
Yeah. I also want to
Another
say
one.
though, for Nairo, like I mentioned, Crack Fair, you can just kind of chain people off the side and they're gonna die. Sweet Spot Fair can do the same thing. You can often force people in the position where even if you hit them with Sour Fair, if they DI in, you're gonna hit them with up air or down air, and if they DI out, you can keep going for more fairs and get a Sweet Spot, and Sweet Spot Fair is really strong. So I think using that move off stage is important. But alas, even without it, F Strong was enough to take the game right there, 200%. But
Yeah, you
that's a
gotta.
kill.
It does. And you do have to worry a little bit because towards the end of that game, Nairu was literally just rolling back and forth and throwing out up smash, F smash, up smash, like all of them, just really abusing that C stick to their heart's content. It's concerning, but when mild is so high, like any one hit will do it. So you're basically forcing them to play perfect, which is troublesome, to say the least.
Yeah.
I would like to see Mild start to like hunker down a little bit more and try to parry some of these moves, whether it be on platforms or off. A lot of the jab specials are just like kind of going uncontested. A lot of the siege shots are going uncontested. Like he's really not worrying about the stage control that Sylvanos has, which it can be devastating if you don't worry about it.
Yeah, for sure.
We have a game 4 to check out. Let's see what we got going on here. Back to Jewelsville.
Alright. See it. Yeah. Definitely a fan favorite stage.
It does so much. The extra super high platform is really cool. The aesthetic, I like seeing the characters. It's fun.
Yeah, definitely.
As basic as that is. I'm easy to please, I guess. Oh, speaking of.
Well, yeah, 100% on the board for Nairo, or for Mild right now.
I like the punish where like he gets the parry, and Crag F Smash or F Strong is so slow that it waits out the immediate parry from Nairu. It's like, it's one of those things where you really still have to watch your timing, and mashing parry just like won't be good for you. Oh, that up strong.
Yeah. Mild's really jumping a lot here, and Nairu's just so ready to punish that.
He does have to take a little bit more of an aggressive stance, being down, but you're not down by so much that this is like unsurmountable. Also, I feel you, Mild. And I see you in chat. I played Ultimate before this, and you just jump a lot in Ultimate. Like, yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. But I mean, again, especially with a character like Sylvanos, where you just have those big moves that hit really hard, catching jumps can become a really big part of your play.
Yeah, it's so devastating, and yeah, these strongs have been frequent, but they land just as frequently, which is like it's.
Oh my god!
It's huge.
We're doing it again.
Berries. Oh, that's the direction F Strong sends at, and sends the pebbles at real. Oh.
Yeah. F Strong is such a weird move.
All of Sylvanos is strong, so just like so threatening. Like down strong with its like awkward DI mix-ups. F Strong is really strong, lasts a long time. Up strong, same thing, but it's tall. Sylvanos just has a really good set of heavies.
Yeah, I mean they're honestly fairly tricky to use compared to the rest of the cast, I think, but they're not too shabby. At the very least, Up Strong just kind of carries it because that move is insanely good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're seeing a repeat of how Game 1's recovery routes went frequently. A lot of the times, Nairu would start his dive like very horizontal to the stage, and that just left him really open to heavy rock throw. And the trade, yeah, you absolutely take that.
Yeah. Crag fair, not a move you want to be getting hit by, no matter where you are.
That brings us to a 2-2 set count. Yet another game 5 in winners' quarters or losers' quarters. But I mean, this is kind of what we like to see if you're a competitor. And I mean, second verse really truly is same as the first, because the counter pick after losing on Jules Veil is once more Forest Floor.
Forest Floor, DSR pick right here, but let's see. If Mild's gonna let it run, then you just gotta win it, I guess.
No, because he won on. Oh wait, DSR, not MDSR.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
In a game like this, I feel like modified is really silly. There's so many stages.
Yeah, I just.
And not that many bans, relatively speaking.
Yeah, three bands for what is it? It's
18, I think.
15, 18 stages. I can't remember how many rows.
I think it's 18, but
That's
I could be wrong.
Stages.
It is a lot of stages, yeah.
Mild, DSR is an acronym for Dave's Stupid Rule. It basically states that if you went on a stage and won on it prior in a set, then you cannot counterpick back to that stage.
Yep, that's a rule we have in Rivals Reset. It's just not one we openly state very much, because it's kind of one of those like assumed rules, you know? The DSR is in effect, and if anyone were ever to ask me, I would always say, yeah, follow that. And I believe modified DSR is that it's only the last stage you went on. But again, with how many stages are in this game, I think that's a really silly. Honestly, I think it's silly in Smash too, but it's extra weird here.
Yeah, it's modified. Well, in general, Smash is a little bit more restrictive with their stage list.
Yeah, for sure.
So, no DSR is often run, which makes sense as why people don't realize that DSR is a thing.
I didn't actually know that. I feel like I've always heard about DSR, at least
DSR is run 100% of the time in Melee, but in Smash Ultimate it is not run at all.
Yeah, no, I never go to Melee. I've been Smash 4 and Ultimate.
Ah, well.
Those are the games I started with.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm a zoomer, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
But yeah, ooh.
Yeah,
I did not realize that was going to the left to down strong. Down strong is really weird because it sends you in towards Sylve.
Yeah,
so you can...
the DI mix-up on it is really scary.
Yeah, you can generally bypass the mix-up by doing DI up, which is like partial DI for both hits. But if you're at like barely high percent, especially if it's center stage, it might not save you, and you're gonna have to commit to the 50-50.
Now we got DSR discussion in chat.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's not in. People are generally in favor of it. It's just like explanation and how to invoke it.
Okay, yeah.
The
name definitely isn't the most descriptive.
Yeah. God damn it, Dave. Why did you make such a stupid rule?
Yeah, but again, these jumps from Mild might be the death of him here.
Yeah, I mean, we're not really seeing Nairu trying to meet him air to air, but these up strongs are just so threatening all the time. That's...
Oh god, that DI was really... Oh no.
That DI was even more sus.
Yeah. So shaky. But in game 5 situations, it's completely understandable. I've been there.
Yeah, that's a rough one that you just kind of have to hold. It's kind of tragic because you caught him with poor DI, and he had to recover back to stage using the up B with no grass, which means there could be no hitbox, and that you just free punish, and you let him go, only doing instead the down special, the Spires, of which just got by super quick, roll into down smash, kind of a classic for sure. That is gonna be Ooh, that is going to be losers quarters, which means now is the time. Soft, I still see you in chat. Now is the time yet again to head up to winners finals. Because we do, yeah, it's finals, semis, finals, right?
Yeah, super excited for this.
So let's get that squared away.
I don't usually end up commentating amateur bracket. I've been focusing a lot more on main bracket recently, but from what I've seen, these two players, Yaptes and Kraken, have been playing a lot recently.
Yeah, that kind of like, you're just on the threshold of like we could get into intermediate, but we always just fall like one step short. And
yeah.
Also, facts mild, like no rivals with CEO. I'm upset. We're gonna be getting it is gonna be Rano back up to the plate, and the water pup themselves, Orcane. I have a lot of names. I should have ordered better, but it's Kane. Oop.
Yeah.
I
think it's gonna be a water character matchup. We got Rano versus Orcane.
Yeah, like to see it. I mean, it's coming towards the summer. Water is of high importance, especially on a hot day like this one. I was dying earlier today, fun fact.
Yeah, same, honestly. I was inside all day and I was still dying.
I'm on where I'm currently residing is the 4th floor. It's basically the attic. And
no.
I have hydration is important, guys. Stay hydrated.
Yeah.
But we still have got plenty to do. So much to do, so much to see. And by that, I mean we've got ourselves a winners final set to take part in.
Alright.
Game 1 starts soon. Hold. Starts now.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
I like how his tag is DIN, just to really let you know. It's like, please, let me hit you.
Yeah. I always read it as like, I'm going to DIN. Cry about it.
Oh, that works too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That killed. Wow. Like right away, you're just already dead. Lol.
Just a smile, like, yes.
Slight smile.
People really thought this character was bad. That what blows my mind. Like, early tier lists when I was just starting to get into the game all of 5 or 6 months ago was like, alright, yeah, you got the obvious, like, Ori and Raster as, like, the top 1 and 2 in whatever order that the person prefers. A couple of mid-range, and then at the bottom was consistently Forsburn and Orcane. And then I played against a good Orcane and think, how does this character anything but, like, ridiculous? Look at this!
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tech out of that, and
Of course,
Yaptes was going for it, but it was tech in place. And, like, Orcane still has tech chasing options with down tilt and down strong that are just so scary.
It's just... like, it's baffling to watch this character work sometimes because it feels so oppressive, and then they combo into back air.
Yeah.
Like, ow.
Arcane back air is one of the most mind-boggling moves to me in this game. I will never get over the fact that they buffed it.
They really did. That's insanity.
Curly sat there and said, yeah.
Please.
We're buffing this move. Cry about it. And this time I actually cried about it. It was painful.
It's like, I feels like it gives the early spark so... oh.
Wow,
Lord.
you went all in for that.
I mean, at the very least, he keeps Puddle on the floor. It's not like it's risk. It's definitely an extension, but it's not so much of an overextension, especially since he was a stock up. Like, he can take a punish.
Yeah.
But wowie, like, wowie zowie, dude. That was a,
seriously.
that was a game. And they don't stop coming. And fire, like, a stage like this is really strong, but I don't know how, like, I don't know how much Rano benefits on a stage like this more than Orcane. Because Orcane still loves the platform movement.
Actually, yeah. At least from what I understand, and I'll admit, I'm not the most knowledgeable in Orcane, so I can't give a proper reason, unfortunately. But from what I understand, this is like one of Orcane's best stages, along with Chapel Pond. I don't know if this is like a bad Rano stage still. It's a not bad stage for the character at all, at the very least. But I don't know if I would have picked it for a certain Arcane. I'm trying to think what I would pick in this matchup, because stage picking versus Arcane is unironically really hard. He doesn't have any. I mean, Rano has mostly good stages too, and like even his bad stages aren't that bad. But Arcane just straight up doesn't have bad stages, in my opinion. Like, all of them are good for him.
Yeah, and even if the ones aren't super good, like, it's... You can start banning based on matchup, which is already really strong, and then, like, the stages that are really, like, oh, I really just don't want to go here. Like, you have 3 bans, and the rest of them are like, oh, everything's fine.
Yeah. Basically, how it goes.
Oh, he's still living. The DI is crazy.
It's crazy. Orcane is so absurdly heavy off the side, and then you just do that to him. You can just down tilt. It's like a frame 5 move.
Yep, frame 5.
This joint.
Does 11 fresh. Like, bruh.
Actually, the skin isn't even half scaling, so it just straight up does 11.
True. Just does 11. Why? Oh my god. This character, low-key, might have just some of, if not the best frame data in the game. And then,
yeah, I don't know.
It's tricky to hit him. Oh my god.
Ori and Rano definitely give him a run for his money, but his frame data is still ridiculously good, especially given the disjoint he still has on his moves.
Yeah, I feel like you can really argue. You can argue a lot about Arcane. Wow, did you really die? Oh.
Yeah, I mean, like, he could have DI'd in, but I think I definitely see what Yofties was going for, trying to, like, slip out of it for the second hit.
Oh. I mean, this is certainly looking a ton better for Dioptase. Dioptase, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Dioptase.
Dioptase. Excuse me, let me just push up my glasses and stick my pinky out. Dioptase. Excuse me. But, like, this is looking a ton better, and he's playing, like, a whole lot more, like, scrappy in this game, especially with some of these, like, Waveland plat drop aerials. Like, those have been very, very clutch to get past the wall of bubbles. But you end up dying so much sooner, and that's rough. Like, you basically are winning neutral 2-1, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I think Arcanas have really good damage output and kill power, so...
Oh, is it?
Oh, that's not gonna kill.
40.
Part of that is possibly that Galaxy. Scrolled. Yeah, I mean, I don't actually know if there's a way to DI that to make it so that he straight up can't hit you. I think even if you DI out, you can still hydroplane. Or Dacus if you do partial DI. Like, Arcane just has so many different options for upstrung distance.
Yeah, just being able to stay mobile is so huge, but the fact that it feeds into your grounded combos, and the fact that, okay, like, real talk, in a platform fighter, ground game is so important. Like, air game is still very, like, characters can thrive off of that, particularly, like, you see it in characters like Melee Puff, for case of example, or Eliana in this game, where they just have, like, they spend a lot of time in the air.
Mm-hmm.
But if your character can move along the ground so seamlessly and has good ground tools, you're natively going to be a lot safer because you still have access to all of your defensive options while you're poking, and that doesn't need to be stated any further when you just look at, like, Orcane down tilt and the hydroplane smash attacks, and, like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, totally.
We'll have to see how far the adaptations can go in Game 3. Like, it is very like, the game was close towards the end, but the raw kill power that comes from Orcane's setups and the lightweight of Rano, like, are really just proving to be Achilles' heels for Diaptos.
Yeah.
But we've got ourselves a Game 3, so let's head right into it. Fire Capital. Oh boy.
You guys gotta tech right out of there.
I like the recovery to these platforms, and maybe that will prove the difference. He made Dio made a whole lot. Oh.
Ooh, wow, that hard DI on back air again. I'm starting to wonder if there are some situations here where you should just not DI at all.
And it's definitely an option, and it could perhaps throw off the setups that Kraken has been doing. Like, he's kind of expecting DI out or in, like, but and the parries now as well are coming online. Like, these platforms suddenly becoming
kills. That is the strongest up air in the game. Fun fact.
Oh.
So you do not want to be getting hit by it like that. Yeah, and honestly, as Rano, again, I would not have picked this stage. I think this is definitely a much worse pick than Hideout the last game. I mean, I don't know if I would have gotten the run back to Hideout, though. I do think it was working out really well. Depending on what was banned, I think I would have wanted, like, Hideout, maybe Merchant, maybe Tower. Something like that. I think the big gap in the center right here is going to be really difficult for Dioptes to play around in neutral.
It's really tricky depending on what was banned, but I can understand why you want a stage like this, because you felt like your recovery mix-ups were constantly getting caught by down tilt, which then leads you to immediate death. But this doesn't seem like it either.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess depending on where you get hit, like if you're getting hit close to the wall, you can always tack. The Kraken's choose like a different option, like a more difficult option, especially if you can tack Waveland. That's a little bit tricky to do, and not something you're always gonna. Not something you would really expect to see at this level of play. In all fairness.
Yeah, it's always worth it to look for things.
Yeah.
Kraken posting his bans in the chat. It looks like he banned Hideout Forest for Spirit Tree, which, I mean, yeah, that leaves you in a sticky spot, because those are all really good. Well, two of those are really good stages for for Rano, but it's. Yeah, you kind of just gave Orcane more room to move, and that's natively going to be tricky.
Yeah, for sure. But either way, Kraken winning 3-0 right there.
Yeah, and Game 2 was pretty close, and that shows you that Dioptos has a lot of, like, has a grasp and has stuff to work off of. Like, they aren't starting from nothing, but that's a rough one to kind of just accept. And now we can head over to losers semis. Do I have that? There it is. I didn't extract it.
Yeah.
Whoop.
I think this is
beating card. There it is.
I mean, Bowling King versus Naru fighting for 4th right here.
Yep. This would be for the chance to throw down against Dioptos, who is now waiting in losers finals.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be having the back comes Sylvanos, or Arcane for the moment. Arcane. And Claren returning.
Yeah, so I know Clarence Sylve is a matchup. I think it's Sylve's best matchup personally.
Really?
Second best matchup.
Any reason why?
Sylve oftentimes has the tools to like kind of maneuver around Clarion, especially to like space her out. So it's really hard to break through his hitboxes. And if your punish game isn't really good, it's just a big struggle to actually get anything started against him.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, and like, because Sylve's also faster, at least on the ground, than Clarion is. Clarion has plot boost, so she's faster in the air, but
Right.
so
Alright, well, we'll have to see a battle of Cyber's previous and current mains, it sounds like. So
yeah,
a duo fraught with a
it's
I don't know how this analogy's gonna end.
it's a matchup I've played from both sides. Yeah,
Definitely, there we go. That's a good way to the good transition into a stalwart game one on Merchant. Kind of a favorite of BK at this point, which is, hey, like that's pretty. Like if you're allowed to start here, and if one of your favorites is a neutral, then you're gonna be playing on this stage more and more.
yeah, definitely. And yeah, once again, gotta say, you definitely want to make sure you're parrying that. So I know Bowling King really likes to use Tide B. I don't actually know how reliably you could do it from an extended parry punish, but it's still something that you have open to you. If you aren't in a position, like I said earlier, if you're not in a position to hit Side B as a parry punish, I think Dare is your best substitute. There's a ton of stuff you can do off of Dare.
I feel that, yeah. Dare is like being able to land with such an aggressive hitbox and kill at 97.
There it is. God, yeah.
Like, that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Such a strong option. Cuff powers goes crazy.
Clarion F smash go burr.
Seriously.
Alright, just kind of poking each other out now, but now we get to see the flip side of it. So Vanos may have the tools to move around and poke at the same ranges, but now with Clarion having the lead, like, oh, that overshoot was crazy.
Yeah, that's some hard in. Ooh. This barely sneaking past that I've shown. That was a really scary situation. Oh, another thing you can do, especially with Hal, if you're not comfortable on timing the parry on it, is you can crouch cancel it. So if you just crouch, you're not going to take any knockback from Hal. And you can potentially gain a tiny bit of frame advantage.
Yeah, that's definitely very true. Especially like out of these dashes or out of a waveland, you can just like being able to crouch cancel and then do something like down tilt just sounds like super strong. As Nairu is just like sitting in the corner, like being able to approach that reliably is going to be tricky. But from the air just doesn't seem like the way to do it, especially with Upstrong like always waiting in the wings.
Yeah. Wow, that actually hit. Jeez.
Perfect timing, and that's kind of stuff it's stuff that you just have to like put into practice, and it definitely looks like BK has it's put in the time to prepare.
Oh no, that's super unfortunate.
That's a tragedy. Tragedy in motion. That's just kind of rough. Like, sorry, dude.
Yeah. That's definitely just something you're gonna have to work on, though. I mean, I guess, like, if you see, at the very least, make sure you can do it in practice. I know sometimes you can do it in practice, but just when you go in, the game falls apart a little bit. But it's still important to make sure you can at least do it in practice, for starters.
Yeah, I mean, that's why training mode is there, so you can get used to the inputs and then get used to the application. But I guess in the light of application, kind of the counterpick that Nairu has been going with for the entirety of the day if it's allowed. I guess if it's not banned. We get some forest floor again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 100% a fan of this pick, especially for Sylvanas. There is some personal bias there, though, but I don't know. I think it's probably like the tied first best starter for him, along with like a quote-unquote objectively speaking merchant port.
Yeah, merchant. I feel like merchant adds things for both characters, especially since Clayton's F Strong still hits platform, and it still does for here. But you're not worried as much about recovering to these platforms. Oh, he finally got it!
Yes, yeah, and that's you're saying that was a Galaxy at like 80%, I think, or like 78%, something like that. Something really silly.
Like super low.
Yeah, especially for a heavyweight like Sylvanas. Again, if you play Claren, it's not the easiest confirm to get down at first. And there's definitely some risk involved, but I would recommend it. It's so worth having in your back pocket.
These tech chases have been huge thus far, like across the ground. BK has been like really thriving at covering. Oh, and the parry too. Like he's been really thriving at being able to cover these. Finally, missing one as Nairu techs into the corner. But right now, the pacing of this game has been all in BK's favor, and these F Strongs don't get any easier to take if you're Nairu.
Yeah. Especially if Bowling keeps getting these facing on these and hitting sweet spot. Ooh, speaking of sweet spot,
Yeah,
that's what's gonna remove your stock.
Yeah, not much you can do about that one, but hold the fact that you jumped in. I don't know how much F Strong gets you at this early percent. Yeah, it got you 11, 18, I guess, but it's...
I think it was 18, yeah. It's... Unless I'm getting the frame data mixed up. I forget if it's 11 or 18, but it's decent damage, but it's not really that useful until like high percent. It's a very niche move, and in my opinion, it's like one of the worst strong attacks in the game. Oh my god, yeah, let's see.
I mean, these big swings, these big heavies, are like they got Nairu very far in his set against Mild, but he just isn't getting the same kind of damage output in this game. Thus, it's proving a whole lot more difficult for Upstrong to be like a viable threat in a lot of situations. Like Bowling King just constantly is playing at the advantage, and the wind is certainly in his sails. Okay, cheeky.
Yeah. Nair side B. Yeah, I honestly would have just Dacus right there, but I think that's really the option you should be going for in that situation. But honestly, it's still a hit. Looked pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
And isn't that why we're all here? To look cool.
Ooh. Yeah, just like that, catching it with up air. That's a fairly tricky move to tipper, in my opinion. So I always feel kind of slick landing it.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of a dismantling of what Nairu like really wanted to do on that stage. Like he wanted to hang out under these platforms, he wanted to cover the stage in grass, but it just proves how good parrying can be over these long range like committal options, because he wasn't able to consistently place grass to maintain stage. The big punishes that would normally work weren't backed up by the early percent damage. So an F smash for 18, like yeah, that's a decent punish, but it's not actually gaining you anything in terms of the game state of the match. It's just doing 18.
All right, yeah.
So we got our game 3 to head into with Bowling King kind of at a pretty firm advantage. We'll have to see where it goes. Rockwall is now the pick. Guess.
All right.
Like if you're having trouble killing, Rockwall seems pretty good.
That it does, yeah. I think this is a really good sell stage too. Oh god, that DI was not good though. The stage isn't one you should really be picking if you're not comfortable, if you're not confident in your DI in situations like that. definitely gonna make you think twice a little bit.
And these, the taunt as well, and
Dang, dropping the edge guard for it. Bowling feeling super confident right here. Jeez.
Alright, Upstrong missing, but yeah, this is okay.
Dang.
All right. I didn't sign up for this.
Hey, you know, it's the tactic, alright.
Yeah, tactical crouching. It's the way to go.
For sure.
Oh, is he gone? He is.
Yeah. He's about F strong right there.
And these Nair chains finally wait. Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah, especially when you're already behind.
This seems like an appropriate time to divert into a. God, teabagging in his face, huh? To divert into the Tales of Aether comic series. Have you been reading that? I've been enjoying.
I have not.
Oh, I won't talk about it then. It's
I heard
really,
I heard decent things about it.
it's really good. In general. Oh, okay, big taunt. In general, I like the writer and the artist of it, Ian Flynn and Matt Herms of the Sonic IDW fame, which I have been very enjoying that series. So seeing them work on the characters for this game, it's been a treat. Of course, Claren is the main character because she's the character with the most backstory. So it's fun.
Yeah.
And I've been enjoying it, and I like his writing style. So they're good. It's a pretty solid start. And a pretty solid finish for the Claren we have on screen as Bowling King fights his way into losers finals.
Yeah. Congrats to Nairi for their first Rivals Recess, so not too shabby.
Yeah, get it go. Alright, and so I guess they'll be going against Diaptase, who was the #1 seed of the bracket. Crazy, they're cracking up with him. I guess that just shows how many times they've been playing back and forth.
Yeah.
So let's get that up and loaded as quick as a hiccup.
Okay.
Losers finals.
This is Rana Clan. This matchup, honestly not one I'm a big fan of. I know a lot of Ranas struggle with it at first, but I am personally not a fan.
And why might that be?
I think just because Rana has so many strong options to whiff punish, but also camp out Claren. He can camp out Claren so effectively. Needles are really hard for her to deal with, so.
Yeah, I can feel that. Like Claren is a character that thrives on range and her having the most of it, and Rano says lol. So Needles, man, Needles just like are such a huge detriment to so many characters that are either thrive on movement or range or some sort of like existence in that front. And Rano's great speed, great frame data, intense combo game, and the ability just to have a full screen or have a half screen command grab on top of a pretty reliable projectile, like that's a hard combo to mess with.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's see what we got on game one, heading to whatever this stage is called.
Swampy Estuary.
Estuary, yeah, the skin, Merchant Port, but Estuary.
Merchant Port, but better. Don't at me.
True.
This is the prettier stage.
There's a reason why it's my background right now, because the waterfalls are just so aesthetic. Anyway, game one. Let's see what we got going on.
Starting off with yeah, definitely. So much. The Merchant Port song is my least favorite song in the game, so take this over it any day. I don't understand why they didn't redo it with definitive. It makes no sense. They redid the other three that were really lacking. but not that one.
I guess they didn't get enough feedback saying it was, which, it's a shame.
Or they didn't have the resources, which, yeah, I know it's
Also
an indie
fair.
game, but it just feels so out of place. The other 4 old stages did. They're just like, this one, fuck you, I guess, I don't know. Leaving it out for no apparent reason. I don't understand.
Nobody plays on this
Just
stage
like-
anyway.
So true. I mean, no, the Arizonans do. Arizona players love Merchant, and I will never understand it.
Oh. I always forget that there's like still regional differences. I don't know. Tri-State has spoiled me.
Yeah, I get that.
Ooh, nice follow-up, but I mean, I can see what you mean about this matchup potentially having a lot of problems. I mean, any direct comparison I can make is another Smash reference, so I'll try to avoid that. But it's
Yeah, I mean, not to say that it's not hard for. I mean, I think this is very much just an even matchup, but in the like kind of 55-55 sense, where they both try on some of each other's weaknesses really well. But it goes both ways, so I think it ultimately balances out a ton, especially the more you understand the matchup.
a classic volatile even, like 55-45 on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that down air tippered? Okay, that could have been a massive starter, but hey, some of these players are still clutch.
Doing short hop downers like that is really good for Claren, especially in tech chasing. I think down air tech chasing is like one of the most fun things to do with this character. I don't know if you can get the hang of that. This is how much stuff you can do off of down strong or down air. My bad.
Might as well be like down strong too.
In some situations, yeah, it is very, very strong.
Can't sleep on Claren's down strong though. That tipper is also ridiculous. Oh,
Ooh,
DBZ, crazy trade.
yeah. Crazy trade.
Going off the rails, crazy trade. I can't do a great Aussie. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah, that mine would be any better.
Oh, down to up strong misses it. That's huge. It gives giving Bowling King another lease on life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the swarming from Diaptose has been huge, and
Yeah, and Diopte is taking game 1 with that back air. I think that's been a pretty big part of this right here. These back airs have been a nightmare for Diopte to DI.
they just come out so quick that you can honestly just not be ready to DI them in like many instances.
You really can't react to it. You just have to like know it's coming, embrace yourself, and DI accordingly.
Right. I mean, human reaction time on average is like 12 to 16 frames. So like, yeah, like you cannot react on hit to Rano back air.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I guess, for everybody still listening. Smile. But we got game 2. This one will be on. This one will be on Tower of Heaven, which seems pretty good as a counter pick. I mean, Swordy on Triplat, pretty solid. But in the same vein, like Rano's edge cancels get so dangerous, and you have to respect so much space that space you want to take up as a Claren.
Yeah, I think one of the important things about this stage though is how easy it is to flat boost and use platform movement. Because you can also do the same things and move around Rano. Like Claren's run speed, it's average, but it's still fairly like solid. You know, having average run speed is still not a bad thing in this game in the slightest.
Yeah, average is still like good. Just missing. That could have been huge. That might have. Oh, I mean, it just shows how one whiff can really swing the pace of a game in from one player to another. Like a whiffed up strong led to an immediate death, and still not able to find a kill off of their own F strong. It's Tase really taking Bowling King out and around.
Yeah. I think Bowling King is kind of struggling a tiny bit to take advantage of sweet spot in air. Definitely feel like there have been a few situations here where it would have been helpful.
F strong was so good. That F strong was like the pinnacle of, I know you want to approach me, I know you want to dash and like start your own advantage and see how that gets, because you have a lot of room to make up, and I'm just gonna call you out hard on that one. And tried it again, though the good wave dash back on Bowling King's part.
Yeah, oh, and again, back air is me taking game 2.
Like, that is hard to watch, and I guess I'm just gonna roll right into this like I think BK did. Just, you know,
yeah, go for it.
Run it. They're gonna run it straight back. Oh, come on. They're gonna run it straight back to Tower of Heaven, and yeah, I mean, it's again, it's not like terrible in theory, right? Like Karyaman doesn't. Extra platforms means extra plat boosting, means like extra means to anti-air, especially if Taze wants to land on these platforms like he did right there. But it feels like BK is just often overcommitting to some of his edge guards and looking for the haymaker a little bit too early, and he gets punished for whiffing super hard.
Yeah, and I mean, I think there's some situations where Bowling just doesn't have the strongest advantage. I think especially, I don't really see Bowling use Dacus very much, which is a big thing for Clarion. Having your Dacus input down and knowing the right situations to bust it out is kind of the key behind a lot of her basic confirms. And I think he's really heavily over-relying on side B Dacus. Didn't say earlier, is a really good option. It's extraordinarily powerful, but it definitely can't be your only one, because it's not the most reliable thing she has by a long shot.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, you know what, hitboxes be damned, like that, they are still, like, adapting to, at the very least, the offense that Taze wanted to go with. And kind of punishing them for it, like, get another landing caught by up smash, and that's character development. Like, you like to see that happen more and more. But one opening and Rano can really make you pay for it. Oh, that reverse hit of back air as the starter, and you eat 40 for it. Good parry, though.
Yeah.
Just off, just barely off. Will it matter? It doesn't seem like it. The down air stalls.
Yeah, he's gaining some height here. This is probably going to make the difference. Honestly, those down tilts. Down tilt is really strong against Rano at ledge. So yeah. Kind of Bowling King taking advantage of that. One thing you can do, just like a nice little tip for everyone, I don't know if it'll work in every situation, but it works pretty consistently, is if Rano dares the bubble, you can go get hit by dare 1, that'll put you in the bubble, and then he'll get stuck in the dare animation, but not hit the bubble, he'll just fall past it.
Oh. That's pretty
And
neat.
he'll just die. Yeah, you can just kill him for that. It's really goofy, but in a situation like that, I think it might have worked out.
That hit so far. God, this frog has got no bones because he just squishes and stretches as far as he needs to. And that's kind of gonna be a huge swing. But you know what? Great parry on Bowling King's part. Because now you're suddenly in a scrap fest with Rano, and you need to find some way to get back to center stage. These up airs are proving detrimental. Long up air, not going to do it. These jabs, parry on the S-Strong on the air dodge in. S-Strong again, saved his jump one more time. And misses, but it doesn't matter. The delay was a little bit too much without his jump for Diaptase to take it back. I will get it right, I swear. That's 3-1, or 2-1, excuse me. So this still some room for a Bowling King to go, but at the very least you have like when you're down 2-1, it always feels like there's room for you to flesh out that game plan and make this comeback. Like winning one game really proves that you know like how to approach this. You just need to execute a little bit better.
Yeah, I think that's also just a common thing here. As I've been mentioning, like I think advantage state is a big issue for a lot of players starting out because you don't exactly understand like combo rates and stuff.
And I mean, Rano's combo state can like last forever, and then he keeps you in advantage. So like it can be like it can be easy to get flustered against Rano. I know, like I'm a hella victim to that, but it can be taxing to play against a character where like if you get down tilted, like if you get a hit as Clarin, most of the time that hit is ending in like 30 or 40 potentially, at least given the current status. But Rano is like just by going through some of his native flowchart and advantage, like he ends at like 80, and that can be taxing. We'll see how it goes as the final stage, or the next stage, is Truple Pond. Similar triplats, but again, the longer layout of these platforms on top of the different blast zones really do make a difference. Whether it be for Clarin or Tasa or Rana, we'll have to see. Oh, that's not a good way to start.
Yeah, I think Rana is generally finest to be Clarin favorite. It is one of Clarin's best stages, but I don't know. I personally think this is a pretty good Rana stage. Let's see how it works out. I know again, like on tower, plat boosting is the big thing on the stage, and Clarin's able to do it pretty freely. But
they didn't have anything.
If you lose to your jump as Clarin, sometimes you're just kind of screwed. She doesn't have an amazing airspeed. A lot of her airspeed comes from like plat boosting. Obviously, you can't do that if you don't have a double jump or a platform to be off of.
Looking to plat boost where my platform at.
Exactly.
That's another strong conversion, and this is looking like like Tase just seems super comfortable on a stage like this. Like you see him like doing these plat drop aerials, like wave dashing and wave landing like all over the place. Still connects. Oh,
and yeah, he just goes for it again. Like you said earlier, sometimes you just gotta do it again.
Yeah, just you can't make someone respect an option if you don't go for it. And oh, speaking of, that back air has certainly been a just do it kind of button in this game, in this set thus far. As Bowling King seems to have died to it like across the entire set, like 4 or 5 times.
Wait a second, that tippered? Wait, was I not paying attention? Wasn't the off stage just standing on the platform?
Yeah.
How'd that tipper?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Damn, dude.
Claren's got big sword.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a wide sword.
It's laser sword, so it can be as wide as needed, I guess.
That's true. I'm pretty sure canonically she actually controls the shape of the sword herself.
That's
Which
sick.
is just so cool.
Claren's so cool.
She is. Kind of part of why I like her.
Yeah.
Ooh, that
Big protagonist energy.
honestly, yeah. But is Bowling going to be able to bring that protag energy here to the set? Get that plot armor here to win?
It's far from out of reach, but some of these swings are a little bit overzealous. Like he's not like waiting for the defensive option. Like there, he waited that time and he scouted the roll in. He gave it to him again, but still like, oh, back air.
You guys in a little bit too hard, just dying straight off the top.
Yeah, that is rough. Because there was so many, like literally the interaction beforehand was so good because it scouted out neutral tech, roll in, and punish with F strong. And then you go for the same setup on a platform, and the same thing happens, but he didn't think it would.
Yeah. That's just something that happens sometimes. You gotta be a bit careful.
That leads us back to the run back. It seems we've got gonna be getting Dioptase and Kraken up back on stream, back in
Alrighty.
France. That's gonna. So we saw this. Oh god, I have to say this now. Okay, well that's the one thing I do have channel points for. Repeat on stream. Alright. They really messed up when they called them jet skis and not motorcycles.
So true.
1,000 channel points. Thank you. Motorcycles. That's yep.
It's a really good term, not gonna lie.
That one hits different. Throw these matches in here. Let's get the replays. A Kraken. And yeah, we've got Clarion or Kane. And okay, so we've seen this in Winners Finals at this point. What do you think Dioptase can do right off the bat that can change up from a 3-0 to perhaps even a reset?
And I think focusing on movement and taking better advantage of platforms is really just the big thing here. That's a little bit cheeky in amateur bracket and is super duper important for Rano, especially. I think obviously you don't want to just like fully lean in on just using pot trap aerials, but actually using them at all and like using pot trap nair and fair would be super strong and a really good way to start your advantage.
I would tend to agree, but it's gonna be tricky just natively having to constantly look out for moves that are so quick and harder to mess with. I mean, or Kane down tilt. I mean, we mentioned it so many times, but the range on that, on top with Hydroplane F Smash, is just like so much you have to worry about. So we'll see what the game plan is going into game one, and let's check it out.
All right.
Estuary.
Once again, I'm glad we're seeing this stage under Merchant. You're just far superior. You're all very smart players just for picking the stage.
And also very good players, as we are in the official grand finals of the Rivals Recess number 4, season 7, number 49 amateur series. Let's close it off with a bang, or I guess in this case with 2 water characters with a splash. Oh, good timing.
Ooh. Yeah, I think that's a lot more than just a splash, though.
Yeah, but you know, it still proves the point, because there's going to be a lot of dihydrogen monoxide flying about. Hey, you're so pretty.
Yeah, seriously.
Alright, but that down strong was solid enough to close out that stock. Going for the more vertical kill power is pretty smart, given how long Kraken was able to survive on stages prior by just going for things like F strong. An early adaptation that may prove vital in the latter half of the set. Oh yeah, immediately stuffing those bubbles. Good stuff on Tasse's part. He is for a quick 70. Yeah. This is a way to get back into it. That's for sure.
Definitely. I think something else Dioptase can maybe be focusing on here is pairing bubbles. So I think Kraken's starting to get a little bit more comfy with using bubbles, and especially fair bubbles. So Rana's sliding power isn't that great, but it's still doable. I don't know. Apparently it's actually worse than Sylve, and I know I said earlier that's definitely a struggle, but I think I don't know. I can always do it pretty consistently with Rano for some reason. And fair bubbles are a little bit easier to deal with because they tend to drift towards you, so you can still treat them like a really slow projectile.
Yeah, it's like I feel. Oh,
There it is again.
The classic down tilt up strong. Just
Yeah.
bread and butters. That's how you know the character is privileged, because their bread and butter is kill.
Basically, yeah.
Oh my word! But like it's kind of started out the same way in set 1, but it was last stock that time. And if you can keep up this trend, then arguably, you've got yourself a good thing coming to you.
Yeah.
And we'll have to see how it goes. Game 2, starting right now. Back to
Hideout.
Back to Hideout. Back to Blazing Hideout.
Yeah, and honestly, I think this was going really well for the Opte's last set, so I'm really hoping to see this work out just a little bit better this time.
Yeah, I feel like starting to set up on this top platform is like, it's good in theory. He does have to start concocting a plan for some of these bubbles, but when he gets his opening, he strikes hard and fast. Oh, and no puddle. Again, still no puddle.
Yeah. Oh, good DI that time. Yeah, the safe DI for that move, those who don't know, is doing down and then drifting away from Arcane. And that should also help you get out of down strong up air combos, which are never fun to get hit by.
Yeah, like heavy combos. They certainly feel bad. Missing the down tilt up strong is Taze. He narrowly sneaks by. Huge on that part. Getting to kill percents at this stage in the game is gonna be
wow,
imperative to maintain a lead, and dies off the top. Okay, like just dash attack back air, keep it simple and keep it steady, because he's not letting the game get out of hand too quickly.
Oh, I like the use of back air right there. I think Kraken's used a lot of fair to get back on stage so far. So being able to mix it up with some options like back air is always really nice. Back air is going to be a lot faster, but also doesn't really cover the same amount of space. I mean, Kraken also dies for that, but
sometimes it's about sending a message. And
yeah,
the fact that he can do that really makes you reconsider if you're tased to, like, how do I approach going low now, or like how do I get back to stage if I am put so low at some of these really terrible angles that Arcane can put me at. The answer is, I guess, not go off stage.
Pretty much.
No better stage to do that than on Blazing Hideout. Very, very wide. A lot of room to keep moving. Does narrowly miss. Ooh.
Yeah, if you have the plat drop like that, I think plat drop fair up strong might work if you're confident in your spacing. That's about it. I guess you could just, I don't know, be faster, but it's always hard to say. Ooh, I really like that weight right there. Super smart bait.
It's gonna be Diapastic taking their next game. Again, that game too. And it makes sense. It sounded like in chat, Kraken was not a fan of this stage, despite it being good for Arcane, and personal preference always ends up dominating. So I'm surprised that he left it open, given that distaste. But hey, you're not gonna get better on a stage unless you play on it. So
yeah.
So we have Game 3 time, and ooh, it looks like Dioptase left Endless Abyss open, and oh, Orcane's Playground, here we come.
I'm trying to think. I think last time I was a little bit unsure about this pick. But now I'm starting to wonder... Oh, actually, no. I don't think... No, Dioptase went to the Fire Capital, which, yeah, I'm still... See, this is interesting. Dioptase... The stage is really good for Rano if you can Needle Camp effectively. Because you essentially limit the opponent's options to maneuver around needles and find new approach options. But I don't know if Dioptase is really gonna go for that. I think Dioptase is a lot more focused on using dash attack. The needle's in neutral. Right. Also uses a lot of single needle, which if you're gonna needle camp, you can very rarely get away with.
Yeah, it looks like he just wants to stay mobile, and he wants to hunt for these starters and pressure you, of which needle camping doesn't always do that. But roll behind down strong, the classic. Especially with Arcane. Down strong crazy.
Yeah.
Some of these recoveries are getting kind of scouted by Dioptase. Like, he's prepping these F-Strongs in very particular spots, but that F-Strong, man.
Yeah. But now it looks like...
Still, huh?
Kraken's starting to feel the pain a little bit.
There we do have it with the Dakets, but 200. That is a long time to be swinging F-Strongs around.
Yeah.
Oh my. All right. Orcane may be privileged, but that would have been sick.
Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't quite work out, I guess. Wow. Kraken really wants these FBs this set. Gotta hope he doesn't end up paying for it too hard, because that's not the safest option.
Especially with Kraken, just kind of waiting in the wings for that parry. God, he's applying so much respect to Puddle, but that can basically give Orcane back free stage, and that's not really what you want to see. And the quick 51 is he does eat for his troubles.
See, oh god, slightly slow in the F strong. That's a really scary situation, though. Ooh, yeah. Really good use of up air one right there. We were talking about that a bit earlier. Now we're seeing it come into play.
Full utilization, and those are the types of kills you really need to get. Not only are they vertical, they're also incredibly early. Missing another bubble into back air. Oh, he used up all his resources. Marks game 3, down for the count.
Young Kraken just one game away from winning Grands here and winning the tournament.
Can't have any more of those errors on Dioptase's part. Just he's got to play a lot more firm, a lot more solid, and he had been doing that. It was SD notwithstanding, it was a extremely close game. Dioptase opening up Knockout City, I think, on my Steam.
Oh no.
So, taking a load off, and you know what? I respect it. The game's pretty cool. But we gotta watch what they were doing prior. That is counterpicking back again to Triple Pond.
Yeah, this is another stage, like I mentioned earlier. I think Orcane's two best stages are generally considered to be Chapel and Hideout, so we'll have to see how this works out for Dioptase.
I think the triplat setup will really be it'll prove extra beneficial, because while the platform mix-ups are certainly there and will certainly be helpful, Rano is fast enough to cover both of those on reaction. And just not giving Arcane the space to move and being always a threat is definitely helpful. That trade almost went very, very poorly, but luckily holding on. And still.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh god. He's just barely missing out here.
Oh yeah, and that down strong. Kind of the ideal parry punish that FaZe has been going for throughout the day, and for good reason. It is incredibly strong.
Yeah. Oh, and another one. I think Dioptics probably could attack that, or maybe DI out, but it's gonna die for it. That move's deceptively strong.
The Nair trains start coming, but intercepted by one F strong, two back air, missing the dash attack on the neutral tech, and yeah, it'd be up to Kraken to go for a Hail Mary like that. He was certainly out for blood, as was Taze, but he missed his own confirm, as both players are kind of now. Oh,
All or nothing on that fair. Fortunately, getting nothing.
he closed it up. No, still living. He does use his bubbles and Galaxy. That will do it.
Yeah, now we're one stock to one. Dioptics gotta take this next stock in order to stay in it.
Tournament stock, if you will. Not only for the end of the tournament, but the end of it for Dioptics.
Yeah.
It's not like there's anything too crazy on the line, but you want to keep playing. You want to take this W. There's pride on the line.
Exactly.
Well, he's starting to play like it. A quick little string. Now he can set up for these F strongs. Oh, sour
Ooh, wow.
spot fair.
Yeah, sour, quote unquote.
Yeah, sour. You can hear my air quotes.
Such a strong move. And with that, we have a, dare I say it again, a Game 5 situation.
Yeah, game 5 moments. Game 5 grand moments make for some killer games.
That they do.
Heading early into the morning. This will be potentially our final game of the event, of the amateur bracket. Let us check out what we got going on. Back to Jules Vale.
Alright.
We got. Well, already a good start. Not many times have we seen the command grab, the French kiss out from Rano, or out from Taze, but
yeah. Oh god. Yeah, just gotta be careful and go right around that F strong.
And the parry just thought a little bit too far and gave Kraken enough time to put out a defensive option.
Yeah, and
really? Okay.
There it is. Down to F strong once again.
I hadn't seen that one in a couple of games, and you know, we had close games across the board, but now it seems like Kraken is starting to pepper away and start to exploit some of Arcane's better tools. Down till up strong was for one. Will we see a back air kill? Only time will tell.
Ooh. Just going for the raw side B right there. That was really smart. That was so smart. The DI cross up. I was gonna mention earlier, I think instead of charging down strong, trying to mix up the DI would have been the best bet. And there we're seeing it, just how powerful of an option it is for Arcane.
Peppering around with those bubbles, and yeah, when Taze has been in a pinch, he oftentimes dashes back or wave dashes back and throws out that F strong, which has gotten him a pretty fair bit of mileage, but against against all these bubbles, it has been not as ideal.
Yeah, and with that, we've got Kraken up as our amateur bracket winner for the night.
And thank you, upon Zeus, for the raid. I encourage they seem to wrap up at the same time as us with the main bracket, and I appreciate it.
I had to tell him to do that, but unfortunately, the timing
Yeah, a little
was
bit.
just perfectly wrong.